believe it?
Well, you cannot believe it all you want.
Out of curiosity.
Out of curiosity.
Are we going to be rebooting the villain campaign at any point in time?
We will be. That will be up to the party, of course. You know, once
This is just out of your curiosity. I'm kind of curious as to what kind of character she'll create for the evil campaign.
Yeah. All right. But yeah. Oh. Hello.
We have someone. Who do you have?
Valaxion, if my dead eyes are to actually be trusted.
Valaxion?
Yes.
Okay.
But my eyes have been strained for so fucking long now. Like legitimately, when I'm at work.
Why don't you pull it up on your phone?
That is a good idea.
I'm just imagining like you sitting there with a colander with your eyes in it.
Right. Valaxion. I will take that.
What?
The spelling out the pronunciation.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Valaxion?
Yes. Why the
Like,
fuck
like-
is this not coming on? What the fuck is going on? Because I'm on the... It is... Here we go. It's finally come back on. Okay. Now I can read the chat on my phone.
Have we met Valaxion before?
It is possible that we met on one of my painting streams.
Okay.
It is entirely possible. Oh, thank you for the follow, Valaxion. I look forward to entertaining you.
They just did it for the feed.
Oh.
Now they're gonna unfollow you.
Wake them money makers.
He said, I just needed that shout out. Bye.
Well, welcome to the Tales of Drifell. You come for D&D and you stay for the most childish players you'll ever fucking see in the...
Hey, even that has entertainment value.
Yeah, I don't stream all that much either. All that considered, all things considered.
Minimum.
Usually just once a week. Yeah, if I've got time, I'll paint something or I'll do something like that. Okay, how?
But that's usually on Mondays.
Yes, because I work 44 hours a week.
Because there's such thing as work, and there's also such thing as sleep.
Mm-hmm. Well, wait, what's that?
I know, right? I've been up since 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
She actually has been up since 3 a.m.
I know, I believe it.
I start work at 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. Then I go home, take care of my kid. And then I come here.
And we've got our third party member back.
Roop, roop. Oop, you got a message.
I did. Oh, I did. Yes.
He is brave enough to let us see his shirt. Alright.
Family, music, and dogs barking. Yeah, I'm lucky in that respect because I only have cats. They just meow a lot. They don't actually go bark.
Yeah.
Persia doesn't bark.
Fair enough.
She just rolls around on the ground.
Are we live?
We are indeed.
Yeah, so, sorry.
So watch your mouth and no cursing, otherwise we're gonna have to bleep you.
Kampai.
Since when do we bleep anyone?
I know.
There has never been a censor.
You bleep
here.
and bleep and a bleep, blop, blop.
See, now you're trying. You're trying now.
Yeah, right. So we need one of those like the black bars, like they have in
Where it has like the bunch of special characters or whatever.
Oh no, just a black bar, just for like in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, whenever you just say something, just a sensor bar comes up and you hear.
Right.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen the ones where it's like the black bar and it's got like the number symbol, the at, the star, the exclamation point, and I've also seen it where they bleep it over and it's like when your TV, like the colors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There are multiple ways of.
Thank you for calling it like the number sign and not hashtag. Everyone says hashtag. I don't sound like that.
I was thinking about it.
Contemplated.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Doesn't Scott Pilgrim have Brie Larson in it though?
It has.
I think so.
She's a
Range.
Not so much. Not so much. It's a bit role.
It also has. Oh wow! Dang! Come on.
It's got Chris Evans. It's got the guy who played Superman in Superman Returns. It's got a bunch of people who would basically be superheroes later.
Yeah.
And then Captain Marvel.
Michael Cera. Yeah.
Wait, is it actually Michael Cera?
I think
Is
so.
it? I just guessed based on what do I know about that.
Well, they also had Captain America.
Yeah, we just said that.
Oh.
Chris Evans.
Oh, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
I
fuck do you
heard
think I
something
said?
completely different.
I don't want to know what you heard.
Something fucking Mitch something. I was like, who the fuck is that?
I'm having a brain for the guy that plays The Witcher.
The Superman guy? Yeah.
No, Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Henry Cavill, yeah.
Yeah, he plays a. Oh god, it's hilarious. He plays a vegan bassist.
Yep. The guy with the superpowers?
Yeah,
That's not Henry Cavill.
Yeah, it is.
That's not Henry Cavill.
Yeah, it is.
The guy who plays the vegan with superpowers in the
Hang on.
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World movie.
Guy
That's not
who
Henry Cavill.
played the blonde vegan
Yes, it
in
is.
Scott Pilgrim.
No, he's Superman.
Here is some information for who plays the vegan guy in
Like, and
Scott
not-
Pilgrim. Here's a
He's
summary from
Brandon
Wikipedia.
Ruth.
He is
There you
played by
go.
Brandon Ruth in the film Scott Pilgrim vs.
there. You go.
The World. Todd is never shown to cheat on Envy, and Scott gets the vegan police to talk.
Anyway, session 13 of the Tales of Drifell. We'll be having 3 of us today, as opposed to our usual 4 or 5. But
To 6.
well, it's 4 to 6. But yeah.
Most of the time that doesn't happen, yeah.
Yeah, most of the time. Well, yeah, because Eliza, has been screwed over by her work schedule.
Well, I mean, and Zach's always tired or something, too.
Not always, but this is mostly for you two, not...
I know.
Yeah. In any case, I don't have a recap written out for this, so I'm just going to freeball it.
Yeah, I don't know. I fell asleep.
Scarlett's got a character too. She's
Huh?
not good at role playing, but
Oh,
What?
Puppy.
Oh.
Well, she plays the loyal follower pretty well.
yeah, she's a druid.
Eh.
This is just difficult to be she.
Are we sure she's not the escort mission quest?
I was gonna say she's the chicken.
No, not the chicken.
Okay, cool it down. Cool it down.
So, when last you were present for this, Jahir Snowwind was making his debut back in the Great Gladiator Arena after X amount of weeks. I believe it was 3 weeks of, shall we say, disbarred from it for a while. After he, won the lawsuit after being stabbed in the back.
Is this last week?
Yes.
Okay, I definitely fell asleep for part of this.
Well, yeah, you were sick as a dog.
Yeah, that was real bad.
And you were just... When you just stopped saying anything, I was concerned you had muted yourself accidentally, but no, you just passed the fuck out.
I literally tapped out and went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Last time on Tales of Drifell.
After resoundingly defeating his opponent after his opponent getting some good licks in, something bad happened. The opponent of Jahir Snowwind was murdered and then was brought back to life almost instantly as a zombie.
Oh, I was going to say CPR?
No.
His neck was broken. You can't fix that CPR.
You know, you say this, but no.
Maybe a little aloe vera, but
no, some, what is it, Vicks Vapor Rub?
Right. Fixes everything, right?
Everything.
Mm-hmm. But through the quick actions of Father Solomon and the rest of the party, y'all were able to take care of the zombie while also, being shrouded in an illusion that was created by the Fell King himself. Realizing that the Necromancer has made his move, the Fell King is a bit more eager to take action. You also found one of the Drifell lords and accused her of fixing the match.
I did no such thing.
She did.
That was all y'all. Good
I
luck.
remember that, and I remember she being guilty.
She was guilty.
Allegedly. Just taking your word.
There was a box on the stove, and the stove was on.
The lid flap had knocked over the one of the dials and turned it on.
You're still talking about the game?
Assumingly.
That was
No.
the stove top. Yeah, the stove top was accidentally turned on, and there was a cardboard box on it.
Is it the fire alarm you're going to do once in a while?
The what?
I hear like a. Fire
Do you want your Christmas card?
I got a Christmas card?
Yeah.
Might be me.
No, it's not because it was going on
You
before.
fucking cat toys.
Okay.
Signed in, so.
Okay, because my dryer kind of makes a beep like that sometimes. But, yeah,
It's
it
just
was before me.
burning cardboard.
No, I smell one of those things I like too. Oh, look at the little branch.
He did so.
I gotta put this with the other 6 ones I have. I gotta find a spot for them.
Fridge.
My mom's like, put them on the fridge. And I'm like, cats.
I'll be right back. I gotta take the call from my dad.
Oh, gotcha.
Kitties.
Alright, so, let's see. Max got 7 gold from betting on Jahir and
My
winning.
son's richer than me? No, sorry.
Big guy.
Let's see, you
I honestly have no idea how much money he has on right now because we haven't really been tracking that.
money has been relatively a non-issue thus far.
Usually I just take money from Solomon.
Yeah. By proxy, Solomon can pay other people for the work they do.
Well, it's like no one will take money from him, so he usually gives it to me, so
No,
I can go...
they'll take it from me. They just...
Try not to.
They just won't know it. Or they won't want to, but they will.
You're shoving it down their throat. Take my
What are
money.
you doing? Be like, no, I insist. What do you mean? I said take the money. Or what? You don't want to find out. Okay.
You'll take the money or else. Or else what? You know there's a crypt underneath the High Cathedral, right?
Oh, you don't have a crypt down there? I mean, I could just throw you in the pit.
I'll take the money.
I can do it as a write-off as the Raven Queen told me to.
Wait, there's a pit?
Yeah. Trader's Trench.
No one told me there was a pit.
The Rancor!
Well, wait, there's a beast?
Yeah.
No one told me
That's not a Rancor, though. I'm in the middle of making shit.
Yeah, okay.
Waiting. Also surprised that I am not hungover whatsoever.
little bit. Let's see. The only other bit of a backstory, recounting, not backstory, would be the information that the Fell King bestowed upon you. But we're still waiting on Zarvarax anyway. So, in the meantime, while we're waiting for him to return to fully begin this session, I will.
Why can't be nice time? I would rather have nice time. This one.
Well, you're.
I gotta use it.
I don't know if you'd be glad or happy that you give me your ideas.
I love using
You don't-
cheesy lines at work.
The reason why you don't get nice time is because you are in Drifell. That's why you don't get nice time.
Who?
Carl.
There's this one older woman at work. Her name's Robin.
What do you mean, nice
And
time?
she has different masks, and they have, like, different things on them, like the squinty face, or it's like a smile.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, when she wears the smile one, sometimes she puts it on upside down, and, like, she'll walk by me, and I'll be like, oh, are you in a bad mood today? And she's like, it's upside down, and I was like, yeah. Or, like, if she walks by and it's smiling, I'm like, oh, it's so nice to see you're in such a good mood today. Oh, my gosh. And I'm like, I've been there since 4 fucking a.m. and she gets in at 7.
That's when you trigger her and what she has on upside down. She goes, oh, come on, let's turn that frown upside down.
It'd be super creepy if I sat there and I fucking took the mask off, turned it over, and put it on her.
Now you're just being a helpful citizen.
Right? Yeah, let me just,
You're invading someone's personal space. It can be considered harassment.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so fun
I get
fact.
along with most of my coworkers also.
I found out something not too nice.
You found out?
I found out last night there were a bunch of people who were drinking a bunch of alcohol in the lobby area, right? So I look it up because if it is, if it meets a certain criteria, I might be able to make something happen. Turns out, public intoxication in the state of Minnesota, while frowned upon, is not a punishable offense.
But
It will get you put in a drunk take for the night.
drinking in public is,
Mm-hmm.
especially if the bottles aren't covered.
Oh yeah, like
Also,
and
if
that's
they
the
have
thing.
their
Like,
car keys with them, like in their
Oh yeah, no,
pocket,
you can get over.
attempted drinking and driving,
Oh, they don't even have to have their keys in their car. That's the bullshit part.
it just has to be in their pocket.
No, it doesn't have to even be on them.
No?
No,
Where
if
is
they
it?
sit in the car, they can still get hit for it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't
well,
even
they
have
were
to have
just.
keys.
The information that I had more or less just kind of boiled down to unless they do something that's disorderly or destructive of property
Being
or the
drunk
staff.
in public is public indecency.
Problem was only one of them was intoxicated when she went up to her room.
Well, then no one else has issues.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, if you are scared by the actions of said people, and you can call the police, and they will get a assault to 1st degree, or whatever.
Basically,
Or
it depends on
harassment
how
or
big of a
whatever.
douche you want to be that
Yeah.
night.
It's literally on how much of a dick you want to be.
Exactly. They weren't causing any trouble, so just let them be.
Yeah, get him on the tree.
Anyway.
Put it in the one further.
So, you are informed by the Fell King himself directly, and I'll repeat this when Zarbrex comes back.
Oop.
That an orphanage
It's nice because that's
in the city of Jaranur had been hit.
Summer sausage.
It had been hit with necromantic residue.
Ooh, okay.
Ew.
Exactly.
I keep forgetting I was gonna get catnip and put it on, like rub it into the tree, but I keep forgetting to do that.
Oh, the
And that was Avalon that traced that, right?
yep.
Here's a
Avalok was able to
message.
trace it.
Here's a new message.
Yeah. Attuned out, they drinking. I work security, and I had to deal with drunk people on occasion, and that was one of those instances where people were consuming alcohol, but they didn't quite get to the point where they were,
Drunk and disorderly.
yeah. One of them was actually intoxicated to that point, but she and her husband went straight up to their rooms after he went out for a smoke break. Other than that, though, it was fine.
Yeah. Oh, no one message.
Oh, in-game, not quite. They get distracted by my roommate, who typically does play, but right now he's working on 3D modeling.
Who gets distracted where?
We get distracted by you.
Oh.
Usually you're playing, but right now you're working on... What was the 3D model you're working on right now?
It's a little moth.
A little moth? Nice. He's working on a moth.
It's got 4 arms. You know how much of a bitch it is to get them to move in tandem?
I imagine quite a bit.
You gotta
Welcome
make
back!
it anytime it sees like a bright light, it goes.
Thank you.
Wasn't there a policy about
It's got
that?
wings.
Right. So now that you are back, Zarvarax, the only other part of it that needs to be discussed to you because you passed out last week
Boing.
is the fact
Boing.
that the Fell King informed you, after being rescued by him, that they found necromantic residue in an orphanage. An orphanage in the city of Jaranur. The man who found out about this necromantic residue was the human with a bird's beak for a face, Abalok.
Okay, question here.
Answer here.
I got thrown out before I heard that part.
Yeah.
Jaranur?
Jaranur.
Is it the same city as the hospital, or is that...
No.
No, okay.
Danasis was the city with the hospital.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
It's Clapius's retarded brother.
Ask Clapius. Come on.
It's fabulous.
Wasn't he half similar to like both of these?
Anyway,
Good one.
Solomon and Jahir are going to be doing something else for the session, for the purposes of writing-wise. Eliza will have been doing her own thing since the Gladiator Arena, so you need to get in contact with her, and by you I mean the other people.
Yeah, she decided that she didn't want to go to the Gladiator Arena. So she's a little critical Pablo.
Necromancer energy at an orphanage. I suspect the metal suit of armor and his shorter but older brother with a human body but robot arm and leg.
Fresh cut grass?
Okay, freaking Full Metal.
I hate that I know that reference.
Spirit finding! Oh no, they've been using orphans to...
Save us!
Sacrifices in the...
Well now, Pipsqueak. Good to see you. I can't do Envy. I broke it.
I hate fresh cut grass as a character.
Grass?
Because Sam Riegel is such a petty, vindictive person, and then he puts on this.
Wait, that's the name of a character?
I understand what acting
What?
is, but he puts on this facade of being this nice character. We're talking about campaign 3 of Critical.
Okay. I feel like I need some backstory here.
Okay, he plays a little automaton type thing. It's homebrew. This campaign is garbage. I gave up 2 episodes in.
It's it's supposedly a warforged, but yeah, he kind of rolls around.
It's stupid.
All right then.
I mean, I am at my wit's end with those people. Like, they're good storytellers and everything, and I mean, they seem like nice folks, but there's so much to keep up with, and I don't like it. My brain's too fried. I don't have enough neurons to burn for that.
It's okay. Just absorb the electrolytes from your cyborg enemies. You'll be fine.
If that's a reference, I'm too brain dead to understand it.
Fair enough.
Well, I think it is a reference, but even I don't get that. So whatever.
Metal Gear Rising. Cyborg ninja dude. Anyway.
That explains it.
So anyway. Jaranur is on frame of reference. I know. So, frame of reference, Drifell, of course, has multiple cities on its mountain, and it's more or less 2, 2, 2, and then 1 ring city. Jaranur is the second level up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sick reference.
Right? But that's where Geronur is. Now, I have to do this because it's going to be a bit of a mouthful. Let's hope you're paying attention. Geronur was once a city of commerce and financial opportunity. Many of the cities above and below would take up jobs in Geronur simply because of the high pay. The city was known for education as well, boasting the most renowned schools in the kingdom. Unfortunately, that all decayed about 22 years ago, when the Drifell lord of the time, an Aasimar woman named Gillan, attempted to gain political favor with an unhealthy number of organized gangs. Think Al Capone-type mafia-type shit. Most of the populace have their own recountings of the promises that Lord Gillan made to the gangs, ranging from simple bribes to promises of the best-trained slaves, and some even going so far as to claim she promised political power to the gang leaders. After her murder, the gangs took control, plunging the city into chaos. The people who stayed in Geronur do so for a reason, and aren't exactly the people you want to cross, let alone meet. The gangs are unaware that a new lord has been assigned to the city. According to His Majesty, this new lord was put into place shortly after Gillan was killed, no more than a few months. Once she was made lord, the violence was reined in and eventually controlled, although infighting and gang violence are still apparent. The goal, overall, is to slowly bring the populace back into a more orderly conduct. Doing it in one night, you're just asking for more trouble.
Well, doing it in one night requires extreme measures, which usually includes a lot of bloodshed.
Yep. According to His Majesty, the gangs have no idea that this lord was appointed, or that the gang leader who murdered Lord Gillan was taken to the castle dungeon, and an agent put in his place to keep up appearances. So it's...
Is this something that is known by the party?
You are... Solomon and Karma would have definitely known about this. And it stands to reason that the two of you would have asked a question once or twice, and, you're on a mission for the Fell King. So, might as well be told about that. The architecture here is similar to the other cities. Gothic buildings built of stone and wood, tiled roadways, iron fences making up the majority of dividers, with stone being the next most common. And with each similarity, you see the clear differences of Geronur compared to the others. Buildings are painted over with gang signs. Garbage litters the corners near the alleyways and on the roads. Harlots behaving as seductively as they can the moment they notice someone approaching. And the ever-present sight of someone clearly belonging to a gang staring at you as you walk by. Any attempts you make to even remotely approach them is met with them moving away and glancing around. They clearly know about who belongs to your party. Soon enough, you reach your destination, the orphanage that was reported to have necromantic residue. Unlike the other buildings around you, where gang marks and some form of combat scars are apparent, this structure is clean and untouched, standing 3 stories tall. Clear windows, polished doors, a healthy lawn, a well-maintained iron fence, and a beautiful statue in the front depicting a kneeling Aasimar female holding a child in her right arm and 2 children running around her. The plaque at the base of the brass work reads, Saint Aeuel Orphanage for Lost Angels. Yes.
You know the difference between an Aasimar and a human in statue form?
In statue form, typically speaking...
Wings. Oh, okay.
Pretty much, yeah. Aasimar, in the context of depictions of statues, will typically have 1 or 2 types of decal work. The first of which being some semblance of wings, and the other some semblance of altered irises. Not irises, just the eyes around them. If you... If you can remember the stone busts where like there's a woman with a veil, and the veil is made from stone, imagine that type of style, in the sense that it's clearly all made of stone, or in this case brass, but it's carved in such a way to look like something that can't actually be made from brass work. So in this particular instance, there are little brass waves of some kind to illustrate that she was a scorched Aasimar, as opposed to like a winged Aasimar, like a protected or a fallen. Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification.
Oh, you're most welcome. And not that it's really of importance, but Aeuel is the name of the saint who founded the orphanage, of course. So, who among you is first in line? What's your... Oh, Max? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So, you see this one first. You see a man in armor, much like Rawl's design, is waiting right outside the door. His steel-plated armor has red accents, and he is wearing a red cape. His helmet, which is identical to Rawl's, Talon's, and David's, but with red wings as opposed to their colors, is held under his arm.
So it's fairly clear that he is one of the dead men.
Oh, yes. He's a member of the Dead Men. He is carrying a carefully wrapped, double-bladed staff close to his body, and is speaking to an adult. The adult is wearing more official robes, kind of not quite priestly or anything like that, but it's clearly a caregiver for the orphanage.
So like a Gregorian monk kind of robe, almost.
Not quite so formal, but yeah.
Okay.
The woman that he's speaking to is a young woman with a Holy Raven Queen pendant around her neck. And he seems to be quite the smooth talker.
Oh, great. We got another charismatic bastard. Alright. Well, they seem to have rather heavy protection here.
Now, I'm assuming you're speaking to the party, not to the man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
So we're at an orphanage.
Yep.
And there's like a knight
Yep.
there
Yes.
for some strange reason.
Of course.
Can I roll insight to see if I can tell if you would figure out if he was a paladin?
For that, I would say you would need to roll... I think that's more religion than anything else, because you're kind of like sensing the holiness from him.
Alright, let's see here. 17?
17?
Yeah.
Not so much. Not so much.
Okay.
I mean, it's clear he worships the Raven Queen. I mean, who in Drifell doesn't?
Right.
But divine, not so much.
Okay.
More straightforward.
Are there any gang symbols or like sprayed around the walls, or is this place like clearly either up very well or avoided by taggers?
Let me put it to you this way. You know how in the those older movies from like the 90s and the early 2000s where they're like the Cinderella story?
The 90s?
Yeah, the Cinderella story where like they're in the middle of a drought and everyone's lawn is completely like just gray and there's this a literal square of green lawn. Imagine that, but with cleanliness. This building has not been touched by any gang violence. The lawn is perfect. The fence is well maintained.
So it's in a nice neighborhood.
No. It's not. They're just not going near it.
Well,
it's like the one bastion of order in an absolute sea of chaos.
Now, something else that is something that I forgot to mention, but the Fell King still wants to maintain a cover As in, unless the necromancer reveals himself, you are not to disclose that you are on a mission to find a necromancer. And the cover story for you coming to this orphanage is that you guys are the ones who are delivering the donations that were made during the arena of combat.
And
So
you
you-
have some donations.
Who among you is carrying the
Of
donations?
course. Oh, I am.
All right.
You can trust me with money.
The
It's gotta be Karma. Karma, you have...
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure a lot of that came from Solomon.
I would like to point out the hilarity of this whole thing. We have a lawyer, a demon, not the same person, and a hippie being entrusted with gold pieces.
To deliver to an orphanage.
Which one of them would you actually trust to deliver this gold? I'd like to point out the hilarity of that image.
I would trust Karma over the lawyer.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because he might be inclined to take his cut. And, seeing as there was no contract signed, he could pretty much determine whatever he wants.
I like to
The
imagine.
market rate is 85%.
Yeah. Karma kind of wants for nothing right now, so.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
So yeah, I got it.
All right, Karma's got it. You have this crate full of gold coins, and it's actually giving you quite the workout. In fact, roll athletics for me.
Ah, fuck.
Ooh.
Where's my book?
I believe it's right over there.
Okay. 8. Whatchamacallem? Who's a what's-its? And yippee yappies and
Yippee-ki-yay.
plus 5, so 13.
Oh, 13, all right. It's a little bit of a strain, but you got it all the way down there.
Ah!
You got it.
Hold on.
It's just like at work. They always give me the heavy load.
Yeah, I don't think they give you boxes full of gold.
For juice. Fucking get enough.
So Maxwell, hello the gates.
The dead man and the caregiver both kind of like turn to face the gate. Dead man's a bit faster on the upkeep. She blinks once and then turns to face you and then goes,
What was she doing? No.
Can I roll perception?
by all means. Yeah, I'd say insight.
Alright.
I'd roll insight for this one.
That is a 22.
Oh, she was taken with him. She's trying so hard to be professional, but she was taken with this guy. I mean, this dude's 6'2". He's lean. He's got a chiseled jaw. His black hair's tied back, in the sense where he's clearly got shoulder length hair, but
Was he actively flirting, or was he...
oh, he was leaning against the wall. He was just leaning into her,
He
kind of
was
like
being
cockhead
all
a little bit.
Gaston.
Got it.
Oh yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
No one.
He, on the other hand, very casually removes his arm from the wall. He's like, oh. And he walks up to the front gate. Welcome to the orphanage. Name's Hunter. How can I be of assistance? He notices you and goes, young lady.
Hello.
Hello, Hunter. We are making a delivery of donations to the orphanage.
Oh,
Yes.
We were sent by Father Solomon.
Praise be.
praise be indeed. Although, it's my understanding that he doesn't exactly approve of the whole bowing thing.
No, he does not.
He is humble beyond belief.
Sure. Fine by me. Makes my life easier. So, where is the orphanage treasury where we can deposit this, or at least whom do we deliver this to, so we can ensure that it goes where it needs to go?
Oh, I'm sure the lovely lady back there can help you out with that. And he just kind of waves back to her, and she blushes.
All right.
Although I do need to do my job. Were you followed by any chance?
Of course not.
Let me roll perception.
All right.
Can I do too?
By all means.
Okay. So, Max ain't seen shit.
That's a 9 with a
Unless...
0.
I did alright, 17.
All right.
I was gonna say, Zarvarax, unless you want to be cautious, cast without trace.
So Zarvarax, you would know that there were the occasional gang member who would move towards you at first, but someone else would stop them from going any further. But
Who is this someone?
No, you don't want to fuck with them.
People know we're here, but people don't fuck with us.
Yeah.
if I were a
I
bet,
say,
well, pretty brave for a frog. But if I may be so bold,
and if they lay hands on me, it's kind of their loss anyway.
very dangerous indeed.
He's not really afraid to croak.
Ah! Frog puns. I get the feeling you and David would get along quite nicely. Though not so much talent, he's a bit of a stick in the mud.
Yes, I've noticed.
Hey, as long as it's not a gigging stick.
Well,
Huh?
No one? As long as it's not a gigging stick.
I have no idea what that is. Sorry, Zarvarax.
God damn it.
Hunter is going to
Just call
pretend
it
like
what it
he
is.
knows. Hunter's going to pretend he knows what you're saying, but I have no idea what you're saying.
I'm gonna sit there.
Gigging, it's a stick you use to spear like frogs and toads.
Oh!
Fire the legs.
So it's kind of like a fishing. It's kind of like a fishing thing, but for frogs.
Yeah, it's essentially like a sharp stick you stab on.
Frog spear? It's
Mm.
a frog spear.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine.
I must admit I have very little experience in frog hunting, so...
He goes and sits in my book.
Apparently, Drake wants to play. He's laid claim to the player's
As
handbook.
well, but the words are hard.
That's okay. I feel that.
Our lawyer, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
guess we'll have to roll him up its backseat.
You have one of those already. I know it's been a year since we've played it, but I do have the facts.
No, I'm talking about... is it Drake or is that...
Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to roll Drake at the backseat.
What's
No, better yet, we'll roll him up a Skaven. The Warhammer Rat Race.
Or what do they call the rabbit? Now there's rabbit people in D&D.
I forget. I mean, anyway.
Yeah,
The hair folk or something. I can find it.
Aragon, right?
Hair gun. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because we made a bunch of jokes about hair gone, hair here, hair there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunter, he's going to nod his head towards Karma. Anyone wearing those robes are a friend of ours,
Of course.
despite what the others might want you to think.
Who cared what they thought?
Quite a few people, actually. But our lovely lady over here, he takes the box from you, he moves over to her, and he gives the box to her. Let me find her name, because it's all the way at the fucking bottom of the list.
Why don't you remember it?
Yeah.
There's approximately 2,000 words right here for this one session.
We better get moving.
He gives her this big chest of gold. She She manages. She enters the orphanage. And with a bit of a sterner look, Hunter returns to the lot of you. So what's going on here?
We are here to retrace Avalok's steps.
Avalok. What's he got to do with this?
Let's see here.
Yeah. His friendly and flirty demeanor from before is gone. This man is just... He's not scowling. But he's also kind of got this... I know something's up. And... I want to know what's going on. It's that fatherly sternness.
It's disclosed by the
Are you
Falcon.
guys going to let me handle this? I mean, I don't have an issue, but I just want to make sure that...
Go ahead.
Okay. We were sent by the Fell King to investigate matters of illegal sorcery.
Illegal sorcery.
Unfortunately,
What kind of illegal sorcery?
It's a little disclosed.
Unfortunately, our oaths prevent us from illuminating further. So, my apologies.
Hunter
I suppose.
is going to attempt an insight check on you.
She's gonna stare really hard at you for a minute. Give him a second.
And I'm going to stare him right back.
Feel free to roll deception for me.
Why deception? I'm being honest.
It's a lie of omission. It's one of those instances where there are only so many things that, like illegal spellcasting is like, there are only so many possible sources for that. Whether or not it's like an escaped criminal or necromancy or like a whole bunch of things in between.
The thing is, we can't say that we are here tracking down necromancy.
That's right. You really shouldn't.
Now, if he puts it together on his own,
That's still not good.
well, but that's not necessarily a concern.
That's true.
I mean, we're trying not to raise any suspicion because we don't want any of the public to know.
He is one of the dead men.
Eh.
So, if he really wants to know, Avalok knows what's going on, Talon knows what's going on. So, if he really wants to know, he can ask some of his brethren, and I'm sure that someone would probably tell him. Unless
I'm mistaken, Talon doesn't actually know. I don't think Talon was the one that
Talon
was told.
The one with the beak, right?
No, that's Avalok.
Oh, Avalok. Yeah, no, then it wasn't Talon. It was Avalok and Raw that were in the room when we talked about it.
Yeah, Rawl and Avalok were the ones in the throne room when he, said, "This is necromancy. Don't tell anyone."
And as we all know, Rawl's lips are sealed.
Yeah.
Naturally.
And Avalok's kind of a prima donna.
Not really. He actually seems like he could be persuaded to tell somebody.
Don't say he's not a prima. He's a total prima donna.
Prima donna by just digging his hands into a fresh corpse and just playing around with the heart like a ball to figure out, yes, a curse.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's totally a prima donna.
Yeah, overly dramatic.
All right then. Yeah. So a 19.
By the way.
Gotcha. He rolled a 4.
Okay.
He rolled a 4 plus his insight. So.
Well, in all honesty, I'm not. Yeah, it's a lie of omission, but it's an obvious lie of omission, so you should be able to piece things together.
So you're saying this has nothing... He looks around. You're saying this has nothing to do with the Warforged scouts that were found?
The what?
Absolutely nothing. Wait, what?
Yeah, that's, you come again there, bud?
Weren't you lot the ones who went into the Minotaur maze? You were the ones who found the disembodied Warforged parts.
Okay. I think you said
those
something else.
were.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we did.
It has nothing to do with those.
Not as far as we know. Any connection must need to be established.
Well, he thinks. He's pensive. He kind of looks off to the side.
Of course, all information on this is strictly to know and definitely on a hush-hush. And he's going to...
He kind of gets this grimace on his face as you mention that. Yeah. Because why would the soldiers need to be told what needs to be done to protect the citizens, even in a place like this? Why would we want to know anything? Why would we need to know?
You know what?
Exactly. But good soldiers follow orders, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was sent here to make sure that you got, well, to report back and let you take care of it.
Any additional help would be appreciated.
I'm not allowed inside.
What?
Need to know.
Oh, yeah, fair.
All I was
Wait,
told
what do
is,
you need to know?
all I was told is that to stay here and wait. Wait for you to arrive. And then report back when someone else shows up.
Oh? Who's that?
Our charge. The big man, Roll.
Oh, Rel's coming, yay!
Now, you two would know this, Zarvrex, Karma. The characters would. Players, you were passed out from sickness and fatigue by this point. But the Fell King had informed you that the moment Rawl gets wind of necromancy at an orphanage, he's going there regardless of what orders he's given.
Oh, yeah.
He's going there. That's what he's doing. That's what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Well, I welcome you all to Saint Aeuel Orphanage for Lost Angels. Feel free to look around.
Thank you. We'll try not to disturb the children.
Yeah. Well, he kind of looks over at the grung. Hopefully they don't disturb you too much.
They're gonna have fun with you, little guy.
I'll give him a wide berth, but...
Gonna jump on your back and say, let's play leapfrog.
Okay, a little bit of metagaming here.
It's gonna be easy to leap when you're 6 feet under, kid.
They'll just come right back.
Oh,
Well, it's true, we have a necromancer in the house. We can...
Okay, so, were we given, other than just the location of the orphanage, were we given any kind of detailed information as far as where the necromantic residue trace was found?
The necromantic residue was more of an aura than anything else. So there's something about this place. So whether it's coming from inside or outside, Abelock didn't quite have enough time to ascertain that just yet. Because when Abelock is walking by, people tend to notice.
Yeah.
And unlike Rawl, people want to fuck with him.
Sit there, call him names like Bird Brain.
Oh no, they try to shank him.
What the fuck?
They will try to kill that man. Now,
Is he that hated?
in Geranur he is.
What did he do?
He's smart. And we don't like no smart guys.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the Geranur gangs don't exactly like the smart guys. So, because Avalok he's well known to be incredibly smart, and he's an advisor to the king, they don't really like him, and they have tried to kill him. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, wise guy, eh? Kill this guy. We'll take his head and mount it on a plaque somewhere. No one will know the difference.
Yeah. All right. Well then, Hunter, I guess we should probably get to work.
Yeah, you do that.
So, because we don't know.
Oh, and do feel free to let slip a few details if you wouldn't mind. I can tell you, as the leader of the dead men, that we'd be, well, if this is an incident of kingdom security, I can promise you that the dead men will help you. If you're so inclined.
Well,
And he-
Max is going to give him his largest, most winning smile and say, "I suppose you could ask Roll for details."
Yeah, you and Talon definitely don't get along. With his helmet arm, he just kind of slaps your arm a little bit and walks off. And as he walks off, you kind of see that there are a bunch of gang members like hiding in alleyways, like they just fucking scatter. His red cape billowing behind him as Hunter leaves.
like roaches when someone lights a candle. I'm going to start out by examining the statue.
Examine. How do you wish to examine the brass?
Investigation, but okay, you know what? We're going to start by looking for traces of, say, perhaps blood and gore, or unfortunately, I don't have to detect magic.
All right, so more just what, looking out for
Anything suspicious.
anything suspicious.
Magical symbols, or maybe
All right.
an anchor for a spell or something along those lines. So I rolled a 12. And now, are we going Arcana, or are we going just straight investigation?
Well, if you're looking for physical symbols that could be magical, you can go for either one. If you're looking for strictly magic, that's Arcana.
Okay. Well, let's do Arcana then, because that'll give me a better bonus. So that gives me a 16 total.
You don't see any symbols that are magical in nature in the context of, oh, this is clearly used for an abjuration spell or anything like that.
I'm just gonna look for something suspicious.
You do see the occasional name carved into it. Names that, well...
Orphans.
Yeah.
Orphans or like their caretakers?
These are more like very roughly carved into it in the context of children were clearly just writing their names into it.
Being kids.
Okay.
And they haven't, and the markings haven't gone away yet.
So it's like people putting their initials in the bathroom stall or something like that.
Yes.
There's a pull in the baking aisle at my work, and it had like 4 signatures on there, so I had to put mine on there.
Yeah.
I had a permanent marker in my pocket too. I was like, customer standing right there, didn't care.
Yeah.
See me afraid.
You're an employee. They don't know what to do.
I do what I want. Anyway.
So are you gonna like do an Arcana check or?
I'm gonna do the whatever one, not the Arcana, the one look for both stuff.
So
Yeah.
if you're just keeping an eye out for anything suspicious, are you looking at anything specifically or just the overall area?
What do you mean?
Because if you're looking... Let's say that you're on patrol and you're just surveying the area, right? You're looking for something suspicious. That's perception. If you're analyzing something specifically, even if you're just examining like a room, that's investigation, right?
Okay.
Or if you're examining something like this and looking for something on here, that's
Okay.
investigation.
Well, we're outside, so it'd be perception, right?
Yeah, right? You have a +0 in that.
I know. 7.
7. All right.
I don't see shit.
Everything looks nice and orderly here.
I'm gonna choose over X. You detect magic?
I don't think I do. Let's switch back to my sheet.
Wow, we are really, really prepared for investigating a site of potential magic.
Like I said, a lawyer, a demon, and a hippie.
So prepared.
Is there anything up high I should look for?
He's not a hippie, he's a beatnik. There's a
The-
difference.
The orphanage itself is 3 stories tall. There is a tree in the lawn itself. It could be used to climb, of course. The branches seem thick enough that they can support a child's weight, maybe a lightweight adult.
Not a dead body.
There's no like large vaulted areas.
Not really. Not really. There is a... You know what? I'm going to say that there is a balcony. There's a balcony on the 2nd floor.
Okay.
And it's got that gothic hangover type of a thing. Is that actually called a hangover? Overhang. Whatever. It's a fucking balcony.
Yeah.
No, it's a gothic themed balcony.
Are there stairs or a ladder attached to it?
No,
Okay.
there are not.
So
Okay.
one must go inside the building in order to obtain that.
You'd think, right? And then Zarvax is going to cast Spider Climb on himself. And I'm going to go.
So you have spider climb, but you don't have Passel of Trace, huh?
Correct.
He's a druid.
Yeah, but druids have Passel of Trace. In fact, I would think that a druid who is also a lawyer would really benefit from having Passel of Trace in his arsenal, so we can freaking get the hell out of there.
Only sometimes.
Probably. Yeah. That's fair. Anyway, so I'm just gonna. I say to the group, hold on, how long does Spider Climb last for?
I think it lasts for like 10 minutes, doesn't it? Like 10 minutes or an hour?
Concentration up to an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go, okay, I'm gonna get a different perspective on some things. I'm gonna start just climbing up the wall.
Alright. You climb up the wall and you're immediately attacked because the DM doesn't want you to go up there. No, you're fine.
Can I roll perception to see if I can tell if this is a spell, if this is something that's innate that he can do?
I mean, doesn't spider climb require a vocal component as well, or is it just somatic?
Yeah, you heard me say some sort of incantation out loud.
So yeah, you'd know that it's a spell that he's using to climb up the wall.
No problem. Ah, that's a neat trick.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah. So you get up to the... I'm assuming you're stopping at the 2nd floor to look into the room, right?
Sure.
All right.
Go peeping Tom.
All right. The 2nd floor is...
Now he's a pedophile.
You stick? Fuck. What the hell are you keeping on?
The caregivers, of course.
Pedophile.
Espionage.
I think the correct term is playground aficionado.
Yes, that
He
is-
sits
that is-
there on the outside of the fence at the playground to make sure it's safe.
Yeah.
For hours.
Apparently there was... Who was it? Ed, you know this more than I do. There was someone who tried to push for a like a renaming of the phrase to no longer be that. Instead, it's minor attractive person.
Yeah.
So
They were also trying to add.
Mm-hmm.
They were also trying to add pedophiles and everything onto the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Because age is just a number.
Shit, people. Yeah. But yes, minor attractive persons is supposed to be included now with, LGBTQ, IA, 2M+, whatever.
Whatever the fuck we are now.
But yes, it's MAP, M-A-P, minor attractive persons.
That's something.
I don't know why you'd give them that many syllables. The only thing they deserve is a length of rope. But
No. Let's be reasonable here.
Why?
Lead is much more effective.
are effective at a painless or reduced pain. I'm not trying to do cruel and unusual, but like I'm willing to push that boundary. I'm not saying crucifixion, but I'm saying that he has to struggle for 3 to 5 minutes. I'm okay with that.
Now, see, I'm not saying crucifixion, but I'm just saying they don't need their fingernails and toenails. And it looks like they could probably use some hand sanitizer after.
I'm not saying crucifixion, but it is effective.
Okay, Jesus.
Anyway, the second floor of this orphanage is clearly designed as one big play area. So you've got building blocks, you've got action figures, you've got stuffed animals, you've got this... the whole thing is this big carpeted area. It's clearly just a very, very large rug. Because remember, in the medieval period, you don't have vacuum cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
But you look inside, and there are a handful of children who are playing around. Yeah. So,
Speaking of taking out beating, minor attractive persons.
Right?
So,
Like Zerverax.
eh,
I can be whatever age. I'm
so
not peeping at kids, I'm peeping for the necromancer. There's a difference.
you do see some children who are playing around with this. It looks like this. You know the He-Man toy line type of stuff where they've got Castle Grayskull and it's like clearly saturated, like a brighter color than it should be.
Mm-hmm.
You see a handful of kids are playing around something like that, and they've got these action figures, medieval action figures, of course, and they're kind of just doing kid stuff, just playing around with these toys. You got some kids who are like finger painting and whatnot, and there are 2 caregivers in here. One is description time.
We never learned that chick's name.
You didn't. You never asked.
I thought he was gonna say it.
You've got this, looks like a middle-aged female with, and she's got this scar running across and a little bit up her neck. Kind of looks like someone tried to slit her throat but fucked up. But it's this relatively noticeable scar. I say relatively because you're a distance away, but the fact that you can see it from this distance is telling enough. And there is... Oh, yeah. Yeah, there are just 2 middle-aged females. The one with the scar, and the other seems to be missing a ring finger.
What the fuck happened to them?
Otherwise, they're the pinnacle of health. Yeah. But I'm going to roll for this, because spider climb as a grung doesn't exactly make a whole lot of noise. So I'm going to roll for their perception real quick.
And the kids. No.
Oh, the kids don't fucking care.
Hey, they see shit.
We went from a grunt to such a tough man.
Yeah, stick pads.
I just see him there with the suction cups on his knees and in his hand. He's going,
Right.
I'm suction cup grung. Look at me go.
fucking... The top two don't stick. Now he's dangling by his knees.
Oh, shit.
Right? Like, you can't climb up the side of an orphanage? Fuck you! So, the woman with a missing finger does not notice you. She's actually very interested in a painting that one of the children was showing her, and she's doing the good job, you're so talented thing. Meanwhile, the woman with the scar does look up and she does notice you, and she just kind of like, the fuck?
Go, go, go!
Okay, just at a glance, does it seem like she's ever seen a grunt before?
Well, that depends. Do you remember...
Am I inciting this or not?
Well, that depends. Do you Oh, that's right. You were sick as a dog. Do you remember the time skip backstory that I added last week? All that much about it? Do you remember all that much?
Some of it.
Gotcha.
Oh, I was in a play for the skip, wasn't I?
There you go. There you go.
Oh, so she did see him.
Now, the question I have for you is this. Would Zarvarax have been in grung form for that performance?
I mean, I'd shapeshift to be whatever character, clearly. Like, if one of the characters is an Asmar, I'd shapeshift into an Asmar.
Okay.
Etc.
Because keep in mind that... keep in mind, though, that shapeshifters... they are treated as a prelude to war. So if anyone knew that you were a changeling, it would have been problematic.
Oh,
obviously.
They keep lying about my identity when I do this, right?
That's fair. Yeah.
Isn't that
In a success, as a successful deception, yeah. But yeah, if you wanted to be an Azamar for the play, you absolutely can. But this does mean that she would have no idea who you are right now.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. Okay.
Also, you are a complete show-off anytime you meet a new person. So...
Okay, we'll say I stayed as a grunt the whole time.
Alright. So after a brief moment of, a grung? The fuck? She goes, oh, yes! And
What's he
she...
doing here?
Yeah. She gets up, she makes sure the kids are okay, and she goes over to the door. It's a glass door, not a window. And she opens it up. Why, hello, Mr. Zarvarax. How are you today? May I ask, what are you doing on the second floor? Balcony?
Oh, you know, just hanging out.
A joke fit for the children.
And for a man stuck to a wall. Anyway, so I'm investigating that necromancy stuff.
What?
Shut up.
Did they hear that? Or am I too far away from actually hearing it?
No,
The second... A floor is roughly 10 to 12 feet. So they are well within range to hear you say, clear as fucking day, oh, you know, I'm just investigating the reports of a necromancer.
God damn it.
All right.
Hey, Ed, how much HP does he have?
Right now I have 14 HP.
Hit him with the rock!
Did any of you guys say that's stuff in character?
What?
Any of that shut up stuff?
No.
Obviously.
Okay.
So, you say that. This
To be clear, this isn't me goofing off, this is me legitimately forgetting that we shouldn't tell people that. But it's funny, so I'm rolling with it.
Okay.
So can I actually hear him?
You're only 10 feet away. Of course you can.
Okay. Max is going to launch into a ballad from the time of the a ballad that is specifically from the era of when Drifell was hunting necromancers in his ranks.
Yeah. They it wasn't necessarily hunting necromancers in their ranks, but there was a purging.
Yeah. So
Yeah, sure, why not? That would be a logical yeah, that'd be a logical step, wouldn't
Like
it?
we're playing a game.
So, and he's going to say, Zarvarax, you were supposed to, the pro bono show was supposed to be a surprise.
I'm a method actor. I have to start immediately once I've been given a role.
Alright then. Because this woman's eyes are wide, but because she knows you as actors, I will let you choose between deception or persuasion on this one.
Can I do performance? Could performance work?
A performance will work, yes.
I'm gonna do deception because I'm a damn good liar.
Alright.
How is a 24 for performance?
That's better than a 13. Deception.
Well, a 13 is more suited to an orphanage, but 24, yeah. Get a job, hippie.
Not hippie. Pick.
Thank you very much.
But this poor old woman, she just looks at you, Zarvrex, looks kind of like leaning down to... She can't actually see Max, but she can like hear him from down there.
Oh, yeah, he definitely said that loud enough.
And she goes like, "Oh, the crew is here. Okay." And she looks back towards the children and she goes, "Next time, please keep that a secret from the children. The surprise of a performance is almost as good as the play itself." But
I normally can't break out of character once I'm this deep in, but I will do it for the children.
thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Okay, let's see here.
So now we have to do another play. Fuck.
Yep, that's what this is set up for.
And once again, Karma is typecast to play the evil henchman of the big bad.
But this does give us...
I just basically go grumble, grumble, grumble.
This does give us our pretext. So, we can work with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I took something... I'm kind of proud of Max taking something... possibly horrific and turn it into something turning for again.
You're welcome.
So the woman welcomes you inside. You know, like, "Please come in, and don't worry about the children. They're well behaved this time."
What did they do to him last time?
I don't know. The last time was pretty funny. A's are correct.
Indeed.
Let's just say that they heard about how much grung are like frogs, so they just went out and caught as many bugs as they could and wanted him to taste test them to see which ones tasted like what.
That's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
I'm actually on board with that. That's great.
Be like, go collect my meal now, minions!
Yeah, the living cockroaches who were trying to copulate were a blast.
Excuse you?
Yeah, the living cockroaches that were trying to copulate were a blast, and a blast of flavor.
They were fucking.
Yes.
Was it extra salty?
I pull out a gold piece from my pocket and I go, "Okay, kids, next time I'm here, find a bunch of these for me."
I'm pretty sure they know what money is, and I don't think they'd give them to you.
We're gonna go into the... I'm gonna walk into the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any older kids?
The oldest kid that you could... Well, on the ground floor, you're seeing only a handful of children, maybe like 3. One of them looks relatively old. He looks to be about 14 years of age. The others look to be closer to around 6 or 8 years old, something like that.
Okay. Alright. Alright. So, do I recognize any of these kids?
Somewhat. It's one of those instances where you clearly remember seeing them at the performance, but there were so many of them that you couldn't put a name to a face.
Okay. Alright. So Max is going to walk up to the 14-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to say, hey, I need your help.
Yes?
We want to put on a spooky performance. So, can you show me where the spookiest place in the orphanage is?
I like this.
Ah! Spooky.
To say, okay, I'm sorry, you kind of cut out there.
Spooky. Alright then. Well, there's a graveyard in the back.
Oh?
For the forgotten children.
Oh, God.
And this guy grins a Grinch grin. Like, his mouth moves a little further than his, like... Clearly this kid's got one of those fucking faces. He's got the Jim Carrey face.
Okay.
Where you think it's CGI, but it's not.
The man with the rubber face.
Yes.
Kidding.
Mm-hmm. In about 40 to 50 years, this child will play Dr. Robotnik. In a surprisingly successful movie.
Have you seen it?
I have not, but I heard it was surprisingly fun.
Okay.
It was... I was not that... Like, had low expectations just because live action versions of stuff, but... Yeah.
I'm fairly certain...
Now, if I recall correctly, I remember hearing something about how they leaked the original design for Sonic on the internet.
Oh, God.
And everyone was like, this thing is nasty looking, and so they decided to like redo it, remake it.
I think it was the eyes.
It was the eyes, the face, and just pretty much all of it. It's widely considered to be intentional. Like, hey, this is what it could look like. Are you okay with this?
No.
Yeah, it was early concept art, and then there was a lot of backlash, and they were like, okay, well...
They listened, though, so it was...
So we need to fix that shit.
Well, yeah, like, the working theory is that they knew this was not going to please the fans, so they wanted the fans to get invested in the redesign that they were really going to go with.
Mm-hmm. But it was nice that they did that. That was kind of...
I think that could be pretty likely that it was a marketing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now we're...
proof of that, but yeah.
I'm also going to mention this before we continue on with the game. As someone who watched Sonic X and was a fan of Knuckles, the Sonic 2 trailer where he's literally just stopping Sonic and he's like, do I look like I need your power? And then, boom! I was happy.
I know.
I was happy with that.
That also gave me chills. That was good.
I was like, that I gotta see.
Alright, so...
Just because of that scene alone. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it escalates from there, great.
Max will say, ooh, that sounds spooky. Can you show me? Maybe we'll see if it will suit our purposes.
Oh, but of course. And then you, before that, we skipped over something.
Oh, no.
The inside of the orphanage looks like what you'd expect. Thick, comfortable rugs cover parts of the stained wood floors, and couches big enough for 4 people can be seen in many of the rooms. Toys of various types are strewn about the rooms, ranging from stuffed owl bears to girly dolls to medieval-age equivalent action figures. Some of these action figures look to be part of the same set, as their overall structure and paint jobs are similar to each other. So, just more or less more of the same type of toys that Zarvrak saw on the second floor.
Okay.
And a little bit of a fun note before we resume with Karma and Max. Zarvarax, you notice a number of the children are playing with action figures of the dead men.
Neat.
The one that kind of stands out to you the most is there's one of them that has a purple cape, but with a black winged helm. And Rawl's swords. So at some point in time, either the people who made this action figure just decide to give him a cape, or at some point in time he had a cape himself.
You used a cape. Okay.
No capes!
I love how we all went there. That's fantastic.
Awesome.
Hey, as a proud defender of capes are fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not good for action.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You literally have something that you can catch and trap your enemies with on demand.
It's like pocket sand, but pocket strangle.
Yeah. Legitimately, Jacob and I got into a sword fight at one point in time. He wielded a bokken and I was wielding a rapier. And I legitimately used my shoulder cape to distract him and landed a hit on him. I was legitimately able to do that because the shoulder cape was right here, and it was long enough that it extended my reach, and then... So it works!
Cheater. No.
I utilize... He was wielding a bokken! That thing can literally bend my... It wasn't even a rapier, it was a fencing foil. It could bend my foil if he fucking had committed to the damn thing.
I knew whose it was.
Anyway. Yeah. So as this kid is just like, certainly. You see this elderly man walk in. He's this like fucking early 70s, mid 70s looking guy, human, big white beard, curly white hair. And
Good suit. Good trim.
and he puts his hand on the kid and goes, "Oh no. Oh. We can wait for that later. You still have to set up the dinner table for the children for tonight. Go on now. Shoot. And as this kid passes by, he acknowledges Max, and then he turns to Karma, winks, and walks by.
Fuck, not another one. Why do I always get the weird ones? No.
But the older man addresses the two of you. Reluctantly, just kind of goes, Welcome to the orphanage. My name is Nicholas.
Really?
Kate.
Yes.
Wait, what? Oh, okay. Alright. Okay. So he's Saint Nick?
Oh, yeah.
Someone rolled well under perception.
I saw an opportunity, and I seized it.
Hey, most of the time I get the shit he's pulling.
Yeah.
That's just not today.
I wish to extend my thank you to the two of you for putting on such a wonderful performance for the children. And I would like to... He approaches Carmen, he extends his hand. It's a very old, wrinkly hand, just like... The type of hand where you know that if you high-five this the wrong way, it's breaking.
Got it.
Like, this guy's a delicate old man. I wish to extend my personal apologies to you. I know that I've never viewed your kind with much love in my heart, and I admit I was wrong. Will you accept an old man's apologies?
Okay, so because he's so fucking old, this is what I usually do. I do the light outside touch without actually gripping or anything. Because he extended his hand, right?
Yeah.
So just go like that. Be like, yeah, bygones be guns.
Yeah, he grips your hand lightly and he puts his other hand on top of it and like, thank you. I should know better. Anyone blessed by the Raven Queen should be welcome in these walls.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I literally had something. I don't remember now.
Well, fair enough. I'm sure your memory will return to you with some warm food in your belly.
Food?
Well, and for the record, this part is about like 3-ish in the afternoon, maybe 4. Because the arena took place closer to noon, maybe 1 in the afternoon. And it took X amount of time to get to the Fell King, get your information, and then be sent on your way to the orphanage. So it's nearing dinner time right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Thank you for the gracious welcome back. We would like to do a quick search around and see what a good place would be to put on our encore performance for the children. We think
you can.
since we're
Nicholas raises his hand for a moment to stop you. I appreciate you putting up a show for the children, but when the mouth of the Fell King lingers for a time, and then your party shows up, I know that there's something more than just a performance.
well,
I don't need to know what it is. I don't think my poor old heart can take it. But whatever you need to do, please do it. The children, they're getting sick. We don't know why. They've been awfully tired recently. For the past few weeks, they've been getting a cold sweat and just don't have the energies. When it first happened, we thought it was something that all of us go through at some point in time. We would have a cleric or a druid come by, and they said it was fine after a few nights' rest, and it came back. But
so can you hold on for one moment, please, Nick?
of course.
Okay. Zarvarax, can you come down here?
Oh, is another one of your companions upstairs? Was that what I heard climbing up the wall?
Yes, it was.
I thought you said he was quiet.
It was, but Saint Nicholas is secretly this world's version of Santa Claus.
You better watch out. You better not.
He secretly already knows about everything. Because he's...
Zarvarax has such an English sense of humor.
But no, in actuality, Saint Nicholas is secretly Matt Murdock. He can't actually see. He just has radar hearing. No. But...
So Daredevil?
Of course. Although, instead of a lawyer, he's now an orphanage runner. Who'd have thought?
Is that like a gun runner?
Yeah, right.
He smuggles orphanages and...
He just puts up these giant suitcases, and he's got like fucking live children in there. Like this one. This is a 7-year-old Azamar, very well maintained, never fired. All 10 fingers, very dexterous. This one can make a Grinch smile.
You could fit so much spaghetti in that thing.
Now, Star Wars wiping over to Zarvarax a couple minutes ago. You've just been let inside of the second floor. You've seen the Raw action figures, the Dead Man action figures. And what do you want to do in the second floor? The second floor is, for lack of a better term, just one big room. On the far side of it, there is... Not the far side of it. On the... from where you entered, There's a stairwell on the left-hand side that shows you going down and allows you to go up. But everything on the right, far back side of that is just one big playroom. There are pictures on the walls, more or less just kind of like medieval equivalent, like being tacked on. Children's drawings. There are bookshelves of things. The caregivers are more or less putting the books back every once in a while and then going back to take care of the children if they need to. And more or less like the standard orphanage that you can imagine in your head, that's the type of playroom that this is right now. Just without the electronic toys. And there are about 12, maybe 13 children in here. Most of them haven't actually noticed you yet. In fact, I'd say all of them haven't. They're very enthralled in what they're doing. Very distracted.
They're in a very deep part
I mean, I'm still spider climbing. Can I just go inside the wall of where I just entered and just go up onto their ceiling? And
Oh yeah, you can definitely climb on the ceiling, no problem, if that's what you'd like to do.
yeah.
You're done.
I'm just going to be keeping an eye out for anything out of place. Anything that looks like it was more than a child who damaged it, or...
Alright. Feel free to roll an investigation, and I'll say roll investigation with advantage this time around, because you're taking extra steps to make sure that you can take your time to do it.
He's Spider Frog,
Okay.
Spider Frog,
Right.
does whatever a Spider Frog does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't, because he's a frog. Spider Frog!
Well, the higher roll was an 8.
Oh!
Oh god, really?
Yeah.
That was something.
So yeah, just keep her out for anything, you know, like maybe a necromancy primer with the picture notes.
Right.
Yeah.
Just... You see him lurking in the corner or something.
For easy necromancer, just add water.
Right.
Yeah, you're looking around, but unfortunately, damn it, DM, you're a lawyer, not a necromancer. You've got virtually no idea what to look for here. It's everything that is scattered around. You have practically no way of knowing if it's, if it was left there by a child, or if it's some secret cultist ritual. It needs to be in that spot.
So that rock sitting there with the weird symbols?
Yeah.
No.
But
like a pentagram etched into the carpet area like that.
right, that the woman who let you in, she does eventually follow behind you, and she kind of asks upwards towards you, Mr. Zavrax, would you mind answering what it is you're doing up there? Is this a part of the performance?
Getting into character.
I'm trying to cross the room without the kids seeing we're here, so I don't spoil that there's another play coming.
Well,
cover, lady. And I just scramble off.
Well, as you scramble off, it's a good thing you did, because the children could definitely hear that conversation. Wow.
A lot?
That was a 4 for the children.
They're really preoccupied.
So, they kind of hear something,
They hear the
but they kind of assume that the caregiver is talking to anyone but them, which could mean any other child in the room. And then when they hear the scuttling, one of them might look up, but you're pretty much already gone from that spot anyway. Now, where exactly are you scuttling to, wall climber?
The potato room.
I don't know. Is there a window on the opposite side of the building?
I mean, there are windows on the other side of the building, but you gotta keep in mind that in the medieval period, they didn't exactly have the same type of openable windows. So, it's kind of like...
There was either a window or not.
Pretty much, right?
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna leave this to chance. I'm gonna leave this to
I
chance.
clearly don't know what I'm looking for here, so...
I'm gonna roll some percentile to see if you get lucky.
I guess I'll say I do a quick laugh, realize I don't see anything, and then go outside and start to head up to the third floor.
Gotcha. We can do that. Yep. You can head out the way you came because it was a 96%, so that it wasn't going to be an openable window. But you go out the way you came and you crawl back up. You do hear Max calling out for you to come down, like right before you exit the second floor. So you have a choice to spider climb down or keep on spider climbing up.
Oh, if he's calling for me, I guess I'll go down.
Alright.
Oh, thanks.
So you head on down, you're at the first floor, and you meet back up with Carmen. Bearded man.
I don't know if that was you or me, but I lost audio mid-sentence there.
It
Oh,
was him. I couldn't hear anything either.
son of a bitch.
Okay.
Come on. Son of a bitch.
Still nothing.
Well, here's hoping that the audio does not cut out.
Pardon us while we try and solve our technical difficulties here. Oh. There it is. I think.
Alright. Alright, can you hear us now? Excelentes. Well, thank you very much. My eyes are terrible.
I see.
I have no idea how you want that name to be pronounced. There's like... it's like E-N-R-G... Oh! Energbar. Thank you, Energbar.
Energy bar.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Oh, fucking hell. I'm dumb. I'm sorry.
What is it?
It's E-N-R-G bar, but I pronounced it Energ.
Yeah, energy
You're just making things up now, huh?
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta switch
Hello,
to...
energy
Oh,
bar.
Hello. Hello.
quit poking fun at me. I've got bad eyesight. Come on.
Those glasses weren't
You're
big
giving
enough.
us so many opportunities here.
I haven't replaced these glasses in years. I need to get to an eye doctor and replace them.
No fucking shit. The one goddamn side falls off. Like, you look at it wrong.
I found a way to connect them again. We're fine.
Super glue.
Yes.
Beaky boy. How you doing, big guy?
But hello, Energy Bar. Welcome to the Tales of Drifell Session 13.
The lucky one.
So the three of you, I almost said the 13 of you, my god.
You're tired.
What a campaign.
I would never survive 13 fucking players. I would never survive that.
I'd kill probably half of them.
Yeah, you would. I would not blame
And
you.
you died, and you died, and you died.
Yo, what are you doing? I'm gonna wait till they're sleeping. Why? Oh, the other players are gonna attack you. Okay, well, I'm gonna use my necromantic spell to bring back their corpses. Alright, let's have fun. Get them.
Yeah. Zombie dogs. Ever heard of Resident Evil? That. Attack. But, yeah. Zarvax, you find your two party members currently talking to an older human gentleman with a long, bushy beard, curly white hair, and a very...
It's fucking Santa Claus.
Yes, a very jolly disposition.
He's got the little red nose and rosy cheeks.
A little bit.
Is he kind of chubby?
Alright,
little bit.
Have they noticed me yet?
Oh, yeah. Assuming you walk in through the front door, or sorry, climb in through the front door. Yeah, absolutely. They can notice you, no problem.
I mean, are they like facing the door? Could I sneak up on them?
You could. You'd definitely be a stealth check.
Alright, let's do it.
I shall roll a d20 to see if Saint Nicholas spots you. It's
He
12.
definitely did. It was a natural one.
Yep. So as you're crawling in, you kind of realize that You know what? You're just big enough in the door frame that it did very difficult to not notice. And St. Nicholas just kind of calls out, you're like, "Oh, Mr. Zarvarax, good to see you as well."
Yes. Apparently, Zarvarax, the children are not feeling well.
Oh
And I
no.
think- yes. Yes, I think this is something that we should investigate while we're here.
Suppose we don't got caffeine, do we?
Absolutely.
Come here.
You talking to me or to him?
Zach.
Yeah.
That was perfect timing, though. Come here.
Okay.
There you
And
go.
her name was Lola. She was a cherry cola. Oh,
Coke, you.
I think we're crossing songs there.
no, it was Zach Brannigan's. Her name was Leela.
Oh, yeah.
She tasted
Are you sure it
like
wasn't
cherry
Lola?
cola.
It's a Futurama reference.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yes, so apparently the children are getting sick. And no one in the orphanage quite knows why.
They're children, they're gonna get sick.
That's what they thought as well. But after 4 or 5 weeks, something's up.
Is there anything new that
Check
was gifted to the orphanage around the time when it started?
Not really, unfortunately. We didn't even have new staff like the hospital did when you helped them. We thought of that as well. None of us went on vacation or came back with something. None of us had, not that I'm aware of, none of us had dealings with any of the gangs. No one just... And he seems fairly... He suddenly feels a little sad at this moment, and he kind of confides in you that they haven't even had people showing up for even potential adoption in like 5 weeks.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sad.
Is
Ate too
are
many
any of the-
snozzberries.
Are any of the caretakers showing similar symptoms?
Yes. There's one. He's been a very diligent worker. He's been here for many, many years. And he's been the one taking care of them, for the most part. He tries not to show it. He tries not to show it. But he is fairly weak right now. I can take you to him if you'd like.
That'd be great. Does he sleep here overnight, or does he go home at the end of the day?
Normally he would go home, but once he started showing signs of weakness and dreariness, we decided it was safer for him to not walk the streets at night. And we've set up a room here for him.
All right. I would be honored to meet such a diligent worker.
Of course. Follow me. And he leads you upstairs onto the second floor. He more or less just kind of gives you the spiel. Like, this is the second floor. This is where most of the children will play if they're not playing outside. And he brings you up to the third floor. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You are directed to the highest level of by caregiver Nicholas. This floor seems dedicated to the children's sleep, but at the moment the children lying in bed seem ill, and a caregiver is moving carefully about them. This is clearly the caregiver that Nicholas was informing you about. He stands at 6'2" in Azamar, and while he appears strong from his, bulky physique, he walks with a slight drag to his legs, and his back is slouched from a form of exhaustion he's trying not to show. He goes from bed to bed offering stuffed animals to the children, checking on their temperatures a little bit, before finding a sufficient stool and sitting down, opening up a book, and beginning to read. Nicholas whispers to the lot of you, I know that there's something amiss here. I'm no fool. But I will leave it to you, or whether or not you allow him to read this story to the children just yet.
I think we don't necessarily have to interrupt. However, where does he sleep?
He sleeps on the first floor. We converted one of the lounge rooms for him. He will typically sleep on the couch there. Luckily enough, the couches we have are big enough for, well, a man quite like him. He usually helps with the physical maintenance of the facilities. He'll be responsible for polishing the statue, making sure that the fence is well maintained. He does all of the lawn work. And he'll typically be the one responsible for going out and getting what we need here. He's the biggest and strongest of us. When he's not feeling ill, he is the safest bet for all of us to go out and acquire what we need, without being jumped, of course.
How long has he worked here?
He's worked for about, I want to say, 8 years.
Okay. What's his name?
Batroff.
Gesundheit. What's his name? Sorry. That was not in character, don't worry.
Go get your ass beat by an old jolly man.
It's true, Energy Bar. I wonder if a snozberry tastes like snozberries. Or if there's even such a thing. Max.
I don't remember what song. Is that a Willy Wonka reference?
That's a Willy Wonka reference, yes.
It's also a reference. Yeah, to Super Troopers when they're fucking tripping in the back of the car, and the one guy's licking the fucking window in the back seat, and he's like, guys, these snozberries taste like schnozberries.
Fucking hell.
Is one of those movies referencing the other, though?
Yes.
Yes, the Super Trooper one is referencing Willy Wonka.
Got it.
And the Willy Wonka one wasn't that the bubblegum girl? Wasn't the bubblegum girl the one who asked about snozberries?
Oh, Rude Assault?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were just all licking a wall.
That's right, they were. It was flavored,
Like the dots on the wall.
it was flavored wallpaper.
No, it was, literally. But
I need to watch that movie again. That was a fun movie.
Honestly, I think it was Augustus Gloop.
You sure?
I think he was the one.
It was a girl.
That licked the walls. Oh, I mean, you could be right.
Yeah, because I'm fairly certain he was shot out by the chocolate river.
Yeah, it was one of the girls.
Well, Rude Assault was the gum person, but was she the Snozberries person? Is the...
It was either her or the rich bitch. It was one of those two.
Now I gotta find out.
Well, in any case.
Yes, it was Rude Assault who said that.
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. So, but Nicholas says like his.
Google and who licked the snozberries?
You don't want to go into that portal.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, hey, Zarvarex is a computer engineer. He knows how to mask his trail.
Alright, we're like 90 seconds, we'll be right back.
Gotcha. Yeah. But the guy is Batroff, Nicholas informs you. And don't ask me for a last name, because I had to come up with like 50 fucking names for these people. I did not want to make a last name for every single one.
That's fine.
He has a last name. It's a placeholder. You don't need to know it.
Yeah. Well, he has been doing a phenomenal job. This orphanage is fairly pristine, especially compared to the neighborhood.
Well, It's only partially thanks to Batroff that we maintain this image. I think we all know the real reason.
Well, that just goes unsaid.
But, am I to assume that the children are not in grave danger just yet?
We cannot answer that right now. Hopefully solving this issue will alleviate the danger from the children.
Mm-hmm.
I should hope so.
We are hoping that it is simply a side effect of what we are investigating.
I should hope so as well.
And believe me, we will be doing whatever we can to stop it.
Thank you. You have my thanks and my gratitude.
And my axe.
But
We gave that one away.
but I will let you do your investigations. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. And if you would like.
Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
I apologize for interrupting. Is Petros the only one here watching the children overnight? Or how many people stay here overnight normally?
There are 6 primary caregivers, and we will take turns taking the day shift versus the night shift. It's really a full-time job, all things considered. For the most part, the children know better not to go out and just stroll among the streets, but unfortunately, there are some, like Ital, who tends to ignore this rule, because he has it in his head that Rawl will protect him no matter where he goes.
Did you just say Etol?
Well, yes, he was the young man in the kitchen with me when you arrived.
Why didn't that click till just now?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
You never asked.
I'm half awake here, man. You gotta make that stuff a little more pronounced to me.
Fair enough. I will remind you to ask the children's names.
All 40 of them.
So did
Yes.
I recognize him when I saw him?
No. Just an everyday kid. 14 years old.
But...
Yeah.
Okay. That's why... Oh, fuck. Okay. What the fuck is going on here?
That's what I'm hoping you can find out.
Karma, is there something you'd like to share with the class?
No. No, not just yet. I gotta figure some stuff out.
Well, speaking of Ital, I'll be going to check on him. He doesn't always get the seasoning quite right. Pardon me. And
Of course.
Nicholas excuses himself and goes down the stairs. You're not quite sure if the creaking is from the wood or his bones.
Could be both.
It very well could be.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Alright. What do they call it? Stereo?
What?
Stereo. Surround sound.
Okay.
The children are invested in the story that Batroff is telling. One of a simple morality tale about the nature of being honest with others by being honest with yourself. The characters of Wigby, the mystical wizard, and his faithful companions, Wanda, the magic wand, and Rugby, the faithful flying carpet, seem to be the children's favorites.
That's funny.
Nice.
Thank you.
What's the reference?
I almost want to read the story.
I mean, if you'd like, I'd be more than happy to set some time aside to fucking write a children's morality tale about these characters.
Then you just need an illustration and a publish.
I mean, fuck it, why not? I'd have to change the names, though, because these characters are from a childhood game that I used to play.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I want
Is...
chessmates.
Oh.
Yeah. It was fucking fun.
The fuck is this?
Wanda and Rugby, huh?
Yep. Both of them are sentient companions.
Well, I mean, Wanda guy. Okay, let's see here.
Upon
with Rugby, well, you could change.
I mean, I can change the names, of course. Like, there's nothing wrong with a wizard with a sentient wand and a sentient rug. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, flying carpet. Yeah, but I think because you could do like Carly the carpet.
Yeah. Carly, yeah. And Stick. Stick the magic wand.
Stick.
Twiggy?
Yeah.
Twiggy and Carly.
Twiggy. I like that. Twiggy the magic wand and Carly the flying carpet. I like it.
Grow nail again.
Oh, that sucks.
The tips of my thumbs are raw and bleeding.
That's something.
That is, yeah, that's also unpleasant.
Mm-hmm.
Considering I use my thumbs more than 90% of the frickin' time with my...
Right. Now that Nicholas is no longer in the room to somewhat distract you, the three of you are kind of able to see that while the children themselves are genuinely enjoying the story, a lot of them are definitely under the weather, and they've got this glisten about them brought on by a cold sweat.
So Rex is in here somewhere. Can you check up in the rafters while we look around the rest of the room?
You got it. And I scurry up into the rafters.
All right.
Can I attempt to put together what the fuck you tell and all that?
I mean, yeah, sure, why not?
What do I do?
You can either do history, a straight history roll, or you can make an insight with disadvantage, because you're kind of like retroactively trying to figure something out, as opposed to just like recalling it.
Right.
Yep.
Well, there's a cat on my book.
Well, you can move the book. Drake will move.
I don't want him to move.
Drake, baby. Yeah, I know, kitty, I know. The book is warm and it gets you attention.
Yeah, alright.
But she needs her character sheet.
So... Okay... And you said...
You can either do history or an insight check. The insight would be with disadvantage purely because you're...
History.
History? Alright.
Because that's a +3 in the... In whatever one.
Yep.
Alright, so 20.
A dirty 20. Alright.
Nice.
That's him. Doesn't look like him, but that's him.
What the fuck does that mean?
It means that's who you think it is, but he doesn't look like him.
But why?
I mean, you can always go and ask him.
Okay, when I see him next. I gotta go back.
So meanwhile, while she's figuring something out in the background, who wants to do what rolls first? Max or Zavrax?
I'll roll. Yeah, Zavrax, you go first.
And when I roll to look for suspicious things.
Alright. So are you just kind of doing a general survey of the place, or do you want to look for something specific?
Just a general survey from the rafters.
Alright. I'll allow investigation or perception for this one.
Okay. Solid. That's a natural 20 for 23 on perception.
Alright.
Yeah, baby.
So, Alright. So, I will wait a moment. Max, is there anything you would like to do before I announce what before we announce what he just won, what's Max doing?
Max is going to start looking at the beds looking for any kind of magical markings,
All right.
like behind the headboards and stuff like that.
Fair enough. Most of the beds are occupied, of course. Do you want to investigate pretty much anything that you can get your hands on, or just the beds that are not occupied?
Well, we're going to start with the beds.
Okay, so just the beds that are not occupied.
Investigation?
Are you looking for any? Like you mentioned, I'll give you the same options as before. You can choose the investigation, arcana type of stuff.
I'll check for Arcana.
All right, go for it.
No, I'm finding Dick. Alright.
All right. I'd hope you wouldn't find Dick in an orphanage. I'm just saying.
Ah.
But
Well,
Zarvarax, with your natural 20, you are able to examine. This was only supposed to be achievable through a medicine check, but you got a natural 20 to this shit, and you're on the fucking rafters. You are able to notice a faint pulsing of veins and a green discoloration coming from these children. It's very faint, and for the most part, it's kind of hidden behind like their nightgowns, or like kind of like underneath like the jawline, maybe underneath, like just kind of like peeking out from underneath their hair, from like the temples and stuff like that. But this is the same type of pulsing veins that you witnessed on the corpse that Jahir unintentionally activated. Well, supposedly activated. You don't actually know, per se.
What was this?
Oh, that's right. You were passed out from your sickness last week. Jahir fought a man. Jahir defeated a man, and the man died from having his neck snapped. Supposedly not from Jahir. And he came back to life as a zombie, and one of the markings that were shown from that were these glowing veins.
Okay. So Zarvarax has seen this by
Yes.
heavens.
Yeah, Zarvarax has seen this, and you saw the fading of the veins when the zombie's chest was blown open, and you could see the heart, and it wasn't beating, but you could see the veins were pulsing, heart wasn't beating, and then the pulsing stopped, and then the veins like slowly lost their color.
Okay.
But these children have a very similar thing going on in them right now.
Gotcha.
check the bad guy.
Check the bad guy?
The bat guy. Bat.
His name is Batroff.
Batroff.
Mm-hmm.
Spelled?
And, well, like you'd expect, Batrof.
Okay.
And your natural 20 for that, for just an investigation, will also show you that this guy, his eyes are sunken. Where did I write it down? Alright. Batroff's skin is also glossy from a sweat. His eyes are sunken and a little red. And you're able to notice, although he's hiding it really, really well, as he's telling this story, his voice kind of sinks a little bit into a gravelly, like, type of a thing every once in a while. Like, he's trying to hide it. He's trying to tell this story for the children, like any storyteller should. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I'll go share this information with Max before we act on anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll scurry down and go to Max and quickly fill him in.
All right. You do notice that a couple of the kids do, because they're fucking looking up at the ceiling, they do kind of see you, and they just kind of like smile a little bit, and then they go back to listening to the story. Like, oh hey, a climbing frog.
Well, I mean, tree frogs will do something like that. They'll climb windows.
Yeah, that's a normal, natural thing to see.
Normal and natural to see a grung climbing on the ceiling of your fucking orphanage.
I mean, they're rather feverish right now, so you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But Max, you've been given the information.
wait, Zergrix, you're seeing what?
Remember those veins from the fellow at the stadium?
Vividly.
Yeah, we're dealing with those again.
And all the kids have them?
A percentage of the kids.
A
It
percentage.
was what, like a dozen kids, you said?
Yeah, about like 12, 13 children up here, and they all have those same hard to notice but definitely there vein markings.
Oh, all the kids on the
Yeah.
floor do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my.
Yeah. You don't see the veins on Batroff, but you do see signs of some kind of weariness that, could be very similar, like a side effect of interacting with them, perhaps, or, maybe it's an early stage. You just can't quite know just yet.
So Max is going to approach one of the kids that are more in bed than sitting up and listening to the story,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna sit down, pull up the chair next to the bed, and he's gonna say, "Hey, how you doing?" And
Hey, you doing?
no, not like that. You freaking map.
Shoot. No, wait, that's not defensive.
And then he's going to. Sorry. He's going to do like what a nurse would.
Female anatomy.
He's going to do kind of like what a nurse would, and inspect under the hairline and stuff like that. In the guise of like taking your temperature and all that.
Knowing what to look for, you're able to spot those veins, and it's
Okay.
understandably concerning.
Yes.
This kid's eyes are beginning to look a little red around and puffy, though clearly not from crying of any kind.
Right.
But
Can I
he,
roll an Arcana check to see if I can?
absolutely.
What's
I mean,
happening?
obviously this is. Oh, that's not happening. Okay. So,
Okay, what's not happening?
So,
that doesn't matter because it's not happening.
yeah. So, a long story short, Zarvrex was Spider Grung, got a natural 20, and he found out that these kids are infected the same way that the Gladiator was last week.
There's a gladiator guy.
Yeah, Gladiator guy from last week. I'm fairly certain you were awake for that part.
He was killed twice.
Yeah. He was had his neck snapped the first time around, and then he was brought back as a zombie and then obliterated.
By Solomon.
Yep.
Okay.
The kid kind of like weakly, well, I say weakly, but this time it's more of a combination of tiredness and dry throat. Responds with, "I'm not doing so hot.
I can see that. Would you like some water?
Please."
Okay. So I'm gonna look up for I assume that there's a pitcher with some glasses of water.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
He's gonna pour this kid a glass of water.
All right. He drinks it, and the DM has to refrain from making a zombie joke. But no, he's very grateful, and then you kind of like see him, his eyes fluttering off to sleep as he's trying to stay awake to listen to the story.
Give him a good old slap to the face so he can stay awake.
But no, the story eventually finishes right around the time when this kid falls asleep as well. Batroff gets up and he Zarvarax, with your natural 20, you're able to see that this guy is like struggling to keep his back straight. And he goes like, all right, that's it. We'll bring your food up later, but for now, get some rest. The clerics will be in some time in the next few days. And remember, don't get used to this. Okay? I can only read for so long. And he walks away, giving this dramatic, snooty walk. But Zarvarax, you can tell that that's painful for him right now.
I'm gonna stealthily follow him.
You alright? Roll stealth.
It's a 0.
That's a natural one. Natural one.
Close.
I believe that's your second nat one of the night.
That is my second nat one of the night, yes.
Once again, I have to clean up after the frog.
Yeah, at least he's not pissing in your hand.
Yeah, this time.
So he jumps on his back to follow him, basically.
My natural 20. We can deal with my natural one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that is,
So you go to stealth around, and then you kind of... You step in a bucket that's clearly there in case one of the kids has to vomit in the middle of the night.
It's got vomit in it.
No. I'm not that cruel just yet. But he does
Yeah.
slip and fall, and you break your concentration on the spider climb.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So now I just can't fucking go anywhere.
Yeah, you just can't climb until you cast it again. But Batroff notices that and goes, "Oh!
there's Zarvarax.
Oh! Oh! I need to remember the accent. That's right."
Kinda Swedish, but not on there.
I am
So-
Petrov.
So Max will
Yoo-hoo!
Max will approach Petrov, and he will say, "That hello, sir. That was some very fine storytelling."
Why? Why, thank you. Thank you very much, in fact. Now, if you don't mind, let's all have a conversation on a low floor. Let the children rest. And he kind of hurriedly pushes past you and goes downstairs.
Max is gonna go over to Zarvarax and just say, "Hey, you snoop around here a little bit, see if the cause is up here. I'll go talk to them downstairs."
You got it.
Now, does he want more than just one of us there?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Well, you're already downstairs talking with Elam.
Yeah, she hasn't actually left the third floor yet.
Oh, okay.
She's still there with you.
If you want to talk to him on your own, I can go find Edol. Edol.
Who?
The person I'm trying to go look for.
Why are you looking for him?
Name sounds familiar. From the
Okay.
play.
From where?
The play.
Okay.
Oh, fucking no. I don't know if I want to say anything yet.
Alright. So Max is going to be following Batroff to talk to him. Karma is going to find this Etal person. And Zarvarax is going to be in further investigating this third floor. Whom wants to go first?
I guess I can go first again.
Alright.
I'm just sitting here like, who's more curious on what's going on with who?
Alright. What kind of search am I doing?
The room itself is very clearly designed for sleeping. The beds themselves are kind of a cross between hospital beds and legitimate beds for, actual people. It looks like it's in the middle of getting more financing so that they can pay for better beds. But at the same time, these beds need to be, lightweight enough so that the kids don't injure themselves on it, but sturdy enough so that the kids don't damage the beds. type of a thing. You do see in the far back of it, kind of just far back, you do see a couple of bunk beds, but those are currently unoccupied. And it's basically just a bunch of beds and small dressers between them.
Okay.
Well, like I said, about 12, 13 kids are here. About 30 beds in total, not including the bunk beds in the back. Say again?
But nothing that's jumping out as being super suspicious.
Not particularly. With your natural 20 for that, it's... I mean, clearly these kids are the ones that are infected with this necromantic residue. But as to what's causing it, you'd need a bit more information. Whether that's by investigating them further or investigating the surrounding environment, kind of depends on you.
Yeah, can I, some of the kids are, like, paying attention to me, right?
There are one or two of them that are still awake, but it's kind of one of those, like, you can't quite tell if they're just not tired or if they're in too much pain to go to sleep, kind of a thing.
Or they're so tired they can't sleep.
I'll go up to one that's still awake and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna kind of, like, very lightly poke one of the veins and go, what's the deal with that? How do you get that?
The kid kind of winces a little bit and responds, "What's with what?"
A big vein. I'm gonna poke it again.
You fucking dick.
And yes, there are hand-holdable mirrors around here, so if you want to show this kid, the veins themselves, you absolutely can.
Yeah, I go grab one and I show it to him.
Oh, that doesn't... What? What is that? Is that me?
Yeah.
This kid's like 8 years old. Kind of looks up to you. Let's see.
Ed's middle name is Ham Ham.
So...
Yes.
Fucking just slaps him for poking him. Fucking dick.
This kid will look up to you, and there's this slight quiver in his lips as he asks, "Sir Froggius,
Yeah.
we're gonna be okay, right?
Yeah, of
Am I
course
gonna be
you
okay?"
are. I'm just wondering where you got those. You're gonna be fine. Heck, I could probably get some of those myself that look pretty cool. If I knew where you got them from.
Dies in your arms.
Not bad, actually.
He nods a little bit. You hurt? I don't know.
I'm losing audio. Yeah, I'm losing audio.
Oh.
So I see your mouth moving.
Damn it! Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
No.
I guess I just wasn't loud enough. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now.
Nice. He kind of... He's a little braver now that you've kind of talked him down. And he says that he doesn't... He doesn't know where they came from. He only just saw them now.
Didn't see him on any of the other kids?
No, he didn't.
He rolled low on his perception. But he's a kid, so it makes sense.
And
Kids like to point shit out.
they do, as a matter of fact.
Fucking brutally honest little shits.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little brutally honest. And he kind of smiles and goes, "Thank you, Sir Frogius."
Indubitably.
And for reference, because I had to time skip a little bit, Sir Frogius was, of course, a character from the play that you guys performed. He was this character that would, pun intended, flip-flop between goofy sidekick and I am a nobleman. I shall never allow evil to prevail. Boy! Sir Frogius Hopatus, in fact. But, yes.
He was called the Bringer of Hop.
Zoning out a little bit. It's been a long day.
No, we get you. In any case, he tells you that...
You don't need to play that game right now.
Right.
That's why I just left.
So, he does tell you that he's been feeling worse and worse, that he felt a little better after the clerics came the first time around, but it, for some reason, just doesn't... Like, he's not getting better. He's feeling cold and stiff rather than, hot and sore.
So
he's dying.
I wanted to ask him if he recalls what happened when this started.
He's going to make a roll for this, actually. Nat 1.
You don't remember shit, huh?
This kid apparently does not really remember much. There seemingly was nothing different about it. It was about a week before the three of you, well, 6 of you technically, started working on your go from city to city to make yourselves more acquainted with them and make them more acquainted with you in a more positive light. And the most he can recall is that he just kind of played rough, got into bed early, told a story just like any other night, and that's more or less when it started.
Okay. I mean, do you think I'd have any luck trying this with one of the other kids, or?
You can try, and it's not like just talking to them is the only thing you can do. I mean, you are a druid of nature, after all. I imagine you have something of like medicine, don't you?
Like a spell, like a.
I mean, even in your skills, like your spells, your skills, your kits.
Do you have any?
I have mason's tools.
Do you have proficiency in medicine?
Yes.
That's always an option.
I'm gonna ask: is your back stiff, like sore? Mobility.
He kind of nods a little bit. I'm able to run around a little bit after I stretch, but it feels like everything in my back is being pulled when I do that.
Got it. We can loosen that up. Go ahead and cross your arms over your chest here. With a little bit of chiropractic.
All right.
You know what I'm saying.
Of course.
I'm gonna try and.
He does
try
the arm crossing thing, and you correct the posture of where his arms are supposed to be instead of where they were, because you're like, oh, no, but like this.
Yep.
Roll your medicine check.
I'm gonna snap this kid's spine.
Just like the old man.
For
Okay, a 9. That's not my worst roll. It was a 4, but it's +5.
Oof.
Poor kid.
So,
Right?
this is... It's difficult to tell. This kid's back is unnaturally stiff. Like, we're talking...
Rigor mortis?
Maybe.
Basically.
Basically some kind of rigor mortis is setting in right here. But you are able to loosen his back a little bit. You know, doesn't take all that much when your back is like this to kind of loosen it up. Pretty much just got to fucking pick the guy up at this point. He's like 8 years old. You can do it. But his back is very cold. His skin is tight, taut, and you can feel the bones.
What does he smell like?
Honestly,
That's actually a valid question.
doesn't smell good. Does not smell good at all. He smells stale. In fact.
How about the bed sheets?
Yes, that's an appropriate question. Let's sniff the bed sheets of this 8-year-old child. But no, the bed sheets themselves and the blankets are very much the same. Whereas it's not quite as noticeable on the sheets than on the kid because they do, regularly wash them. But there is that distinct staleness, deadness about the place as well.
You should stab him and see if he bleeds.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
No. If it doesn't bleed, then we kill it.
Yeah, okay. That's actually not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's bad. That's such a bad idea. That's such a very, very bad idea.
All you gotta do
Anyway.
is drop a cup, let it break, and have them help pick up the pieces and accidentally slice them.
I should let you know that this kid does trust you. Because you're
I said
Sir
accidentally.
Frogius. You're Sir Frogius. You ask him to do something, he'll do his best to help you.
Alright, I'm gonna point one of the veins and I go, does that hurt? Is there a lot of pressure built up there?
It hurt when you touched it.
Okay.
Stab him.
If you'd like, I could let some of the pressure out.
How?
I'd make a very small incision.
Incision?
And some... Yeah, I would poke it so that some of the fluid would come out.
Poking hurts.
It just hurt for a second.
Roll persuasion.
Ooh. Okay, 17.
He takes a deep breath, puts on his best brave face, and kind of like turns his head a little bit to where he saw the veins for you.
Alright. I cast Primal Savagery. Nails emerge from my hand, and I take one and just scrape.
Are you gonna poison this damn kid?
Does it...
I think the wording was
Oh,
you can. I think the wording was that you can, not that you do.
Yeah, I don't have to poison him. I can specify a non-lethal attack, right?
You can specify that, yes.
Yes. This is a non-lethal attack. I'm just trying to make an incision in the vein.
Mm-hmm.
And he's dead.
Right?
So you're able to
Just don't roll that one.
roll a medicine check for me. With your...
what?
Roll a medicine. And I'll allow you to add your dex mod for this as I'll count it as an attack.
Okay. Oh, 21.
21?
Ooh.
Okay. So you are officially able to pop one of these veins, and at first it's one of that, little bit of red trickling out, and then it's clear, pus, and then green.
Ooh.
Ew.
And it's not, again, it's just a prick, so it's not really going to be bleeding profusely or anything like that, unless it's on the finger. But it is still near the head. It's on the head, so there is genuine, a lot of blood flow there.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's, again, not like it's a life-threatening gusher or anything like that, but...
It's like if you hit your head on a tree kind of thing.
Yeah.
Get a sample.
I'm gonna take one of the empty honey jars out of my sack and just kind of get some blood into the jar. Blood, whatever this is.
So are you getting the blood, the pus, or the green stuff?
Yes.
That's I'm just gonna get all of it, just in the order it comes out.
All right. But yeah, you are able to get that stuff, and eventually this little puncture wound somewhat closes,
It clots.
but not at all.
What?
It does not scab. It does not scab over.
That's fine. I take out one of the jars of honey that has honey in it still, and I just take some and just kind of slop it on there.
Honey is healing.
Honestly, okay, no. In all honesty, honey is actually antibacterial. So that's
It's used for healing.
I'm
It
just
has a good
saying.
consistency that will allow it to seal.
I'm just genuinely kind of proud that an instinctual need to buy honey has come into practice 8 sessions later. I like that.
You may think I'm a dumbass, but
I thought this through.
I'm thinking 20 moves ahead. I'm not always playing the same game as you guys. But
You think I'm out here fucking around.
You think I'm fucking around, but in actuality, I'm laying down a literal landline that when I want to, I can inform you about the chemical compounds that will create an explosion that will level this city. I can walk you through step by step. We just can't be on stream while I do it.
yeah, I give him. I put some of the honey on there just enough to heal it, and I say, "You like sweets? You like
Batroff,
jazz?"
Batroff says we're not allowed to have sweets after the story time.
Okay, well, you've been very brave, so I'm going to make an exception, and I let him have some of the honey.
He graciously accepts it. And by graciously, I mean a kid who literally has said, yes, you can have a cookie, when he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna be bouncing off the walls all fucking night.
Exactly. And who's to blame? The lawyer.
Well, actually, honey's a little smoother energy.
Of course,
So you
of
don't-
course.
You don't get the trigger rush. I mean, you have to use a shit ton before you get a trigger rush.
Mm-hmm.
I
So,
needed a bargaining chip. We had to enter into a quid pro quo. I got what I wanted. That's fine.
exactly. Now we shall Star Wars transition wipe.
What we don't realize is that Zerberex's last name is Stone, so he's actually Zerberex Dr. Stone.
Nah. Who's next? Shall it be Max or Karma?
Roger Stone.
I was actually, it was the anime Dr. Stone.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that at all.
Okay. Actually, I can loan it to you. I've got a copy, so it is pretty good.
I still need to watch the stuff you've already loaned me.
I know.
So did you want to go or should I go?
You want to roll for it?
All right.
I rolled a 15.
I rolled a 1.
All right, Max goes first. So you follow Batroff down to the ground floor, and Max and Karma kind of split up at this point. Max following Batroff into one of the one of the side rooms on the ground floor, and Batroff, as soon as he's out of range of children, he lets himself just slouch. His feet are dragging, and he's practically limping. He gets down onto this couch, and he has to help his own leg up onto it, and lays down and just. Oh.
Holy hell, man!
Which circle?
The fifth at least.
Oh, that bad.
Yes.
That bad.
Well, the kids aren't looking much better either.
No, they're not.
Out of curiosity, that we're very concerned about we were planning on. I apologize. We were planning on putting on a performance today, but
you can fool the children and you can fool the other caregivers, but not me. I can feel what is going on in my body right now. Abelock does not linger near a place like this unless something is happening. What are you here for?
We're here to stop what's happening.
What is happening?
That's what we're trying to find out.
He's gathering his thoughts, it seems like, and he's just... If I am dying, I have a right to know what it is. If these children are dying, we have a right to know what it is. Whoever's orders you're under, be damned!
When we find out exactly what's going on, we'll let you know. We're not entirely sure right now.
Alright. So this guy is going to insight check you.
Give me a roll.
Well, you do know this is necromancy at some level.
We know it's necromancy, but we don't know exactly what's going on. So it's not really a total performance rather than a lie. We know that it's necromancy. We don't know specifically exactly what. Because necromancy is a school, it's not a specific spell.
I will allow you to persuade me this time around. I will allow you to do it.
And that's a nat 20.
A natural 20.
Nice.
Alright. Well, Batroff doesn't like it in the slightest. He more or less just kind of scoffs, and it looks like he's trying to think of something else to bargain with.
So
he went through the denial and then now bargaining.
He's going to turn to Batroff and he's going to say, will you help me try to end this?
How can I help you if I don't know what I'm helping? If I can, I absolutely will. I apologize. I apologize. I am just in a lot of pain.
I fully understand. I don't blame you at all. What can you recall anything unusual that happened before this started?
I got new books. I got new painting equipment. I got new toys. I have purchased, and that is in character, I got so much that I don't know. The ruffians outside would not dare do something like this. They lack the intellect to do it in the first place. I don't know. I don't.
No, hold on. I apologize. It's late, so this is not good. I'm getting. Okay, now it first started about 4 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you can't remember anything that happened 4 weeks ago. Anything unusual. Even a specific nightmare might give us what we need to know.
It was a nightmare. This shadow, this big shadow just enveloping the orphanage, enveloping me. Nothing but cold.
Were you here? Were you sleeping here when you had that nightmare, or were you at home?
I had passed out one day, and I had that nightmare. I had that nightmare here. I was awoken by Belora. She said I was shrieking in my sleep. Belora is the one with the
scar
forgive me. She's the one with the annoying pride of being a follower of the Raven Queen. The one with the pendant around her neck.
The one I was outside?
Yes.
Okay.
Was there anyone else here?
Of course there were other people here. The children never leave.
Yes, aside from the children.
Nicholas was here as well. And let me get her name. Ashen. And Ashen was here. Ashen is the one with the scar. They were here when that happened.
Alright, is there any place here that particularly frightens the children? Like a room in the basement or a particular grave? Okay.
Not really. Not on the grounds here. They go out of the grounds, they might be a little worried. We have to remind them that Rawl is not just an action figure. He's not just a story. But he is a real man. But while they're here, the only concern they have is never being adopted. It's a very real concern.
Well, thank you. You have been helpful. We will do everything we can to stop this.
Will you now? Out of curiosity, if you find out what's going on, and you find out what it is, what will you do?
We will stop it.
I am overjoyed to hear such detailed determinations. Well, I'll be here.
One cannot plan a battle unless one knows where the enemy is, right?
I suppose not. I suppose not.
Perhaps a quick parting gift. I will use my Song of Rest.
Yeah, all right then.
Allows him to. It's basically a boost for when you're rolling your hit dice.
Indeed.
Right? It's an extra like 1d6. So, but
It will indeed help. He thanks you.
Rest well.
Oh, resting well was never in the cards for people like us. Believe me.
While we're talking, while Max is playing, you will ask him. Besides fatigue, and soreness, what other symptoms does this illness have?
Well, take a look at me. Pretty much everything you see on me, that's what we're getting.
Are you sleeping well?
No. In fact, I don't think I've, if you can call it sleep, in about a week or two. Time, like, difficult to keep track. At this
Is there anything that's different about the children who are sick versus the ones who are fine? Is there any place that they went? Is there any food that they ate? Is there
It appears to be the ones that stay away from the graveyard. They seem to be most affected. I don't know what it is. The ones that are up there tend to stay away from the graveyard out back.
all right? So, well, that's interesting to know. And Max will finish up his Song of Rest. I think I get.
Excellent.
You feel better.
I will try. I will try to feel better.
Well, okay. All right.
Just a little bit of information for you. While Batroff does have a lot of what could be described as the symptoms, he does not have those veins around him. At least none that you can see.
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay. So there are no limits to the uses of the Song of Rest. That's cool. That's what I went out. Sorry.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed. Do you have anything else you wish to ask or question?
No, I think that covers it.
We shall now He-Man transition over to Karma.
What's that?
So you split off from Max and Batroff, and you just start looking around. Roll nature. Roll a nature check, because that's going to be for tracking. You're going to be tracking this motherfucker down.
17.
You find this guy.
Where?
You are able to find this guy who is kind of just hiding, shall we say, near a door to the basement. And Ital just kind of looks over at you, winks.
Closes it or opened it? Oh, fuck.
And he walks down the stairs.
I guess I want to talk to him somewhere private. Alright, let's go. Fuck.
So you head down.
I got my sword, right?
Of course. Unless you specified otherwise, I'm going to assume you have your sword on your hip.
Right.
I mean, you were carrying a box of gold. There's good reason to be armed.
Right. I'm also pretty scared looking.
Exactly. So you go down there. It is utter blackness. But you've got night vision, so you can kind of see where you're going because of the light that's trailing down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this strange shifting shadow. And then, as a candle is lit, you see you.
God fucking damn it, you goddamn shape-shifting motherfucker.
Etal places the candle down on a table and sits down, and whether it's mockingly or not, you can never quite tell with Etal, crosses the now looking like your legs in a very sultry position and goes, in your voice, "Well, fancy meeting you here. I must say I like the do."
Rude.
I would hardly consider this rude. After all, I'm your friend. All right. Shapeshifts the head to look more like Solomon. Prankster friend. That better?
What are you doing here?
Etal reverts back to the 13-year-old child of persona.
14.
No, 14. Well, I live here, of course. You would be amazed at how easy it is to make a living just posing as a child. When I get too old, I just run away. I go to a different orphanage, assume a different form, and start the whole thing over again. I'm just old enough that no one wants to adopt me, and I'm not so old that they expect me to go out on my own. I get free food. I get to save up money because, well, what little gold comes my way, I get to pocket it. And I can get my own stuff later.
Those are actually pretty good points.
Right. Why don't you do that?
He's more for nature.
Right.
He's more for nature. Now tell me, why are you really here? Because there's some strange shit happening.
I know. I was gonna figure out what the fuck you're doing here to see if you knew anything.
Well, anything that I can do to help you, I will oblige.
I'm trying to figure out where to go now. It didn't go the way I was thinking about stuff.
Wait, after all, who was it that helped you find the cloak that was bestowed upon you when you were 7? That cloak that Rawl gave you? That was me. I'm the one who helped you find it.
Huh?
Oh, that's right. You're half asleep. In the backstory that you approved of, Rawl wrapped Karma up in a purple cloak
Yeah.
when he found her.
Oh! That's the action figure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's funny, though.
I thank you. I thought so. Or, just recently, who's the one that you think was able to talk to that farm boy into talking to you? That was me. I know you didn't ask. Consider it a favor.
Why would you do that?
Etal kind of morphs into Sarah and goes, girl, you need to, get out. Fucking hell, this dumb bitch. I can't even. Morphs back to 14-year-old. I do not understand how you live with that. I just don't.
There's a reason I'm out and about.
See, I thought the big reveal there was going to be that Sarah is a shapeshifter.
Right? Like, I was like, so you've been living at my... But no, he said he was living here, so...
Yeah. And I'm willing to help you here too. I mean, let's face it, living here rent-free is all fine and good, but sometimes I just want to act my age sometimes.
How fucking old are you?
Rude.
You! He morphs into, you know what? Yeah. You know, he's gonna do this. He's gonna morph into,
Rickety old fucking man.
no, he's gonna shapeshift into a Shen, the older woman with the scar on her neck. You never ask a lady her age. That's just rude of you. Old enough, my sweet. Old enough.
Oh, fuck blue.
you can make an insight check if you want.
No, fuck you. Come back here.
Don't fuck the dice. Just don't.
7.
I mean, for the most part, Etal tends to stick to one form when you talk to him in the past. The fact that he's shifting this often is making it really fucking difficult to tell if he's being serious or playing around with you.
Right.
You do know that he's never really gone out of his way to harm you or anything like that. Egg on your face here, you know, like stealing your scabbard there, you know, harmless pranks. He's done that, but
So he's like a fucking teenager or whatever. In reality.
possibly. It's entirely possible. He definitely seems to have a plan a bit more well thought out than a teenager would, though. So tell me. He morphs back into the teenager form. So, I hear you're performing a play. I know damn sure that's not what you're actually here for. So tell me, what's going on? Give me the gossip.
Don't you dare.
Now see.
Yeah, see, now you know about it, don't you?
He's in the hole.
Yeah, he's actually inside the cat tree.
All it took was a giant check on meat.
Yeah, just.
I had to sit there and coax him down into it though, but it worked.
Oh, come here, fuzz boy.
Oh come on, Karma! I want an adventure.
Pretty sure my head would be taken off if I told you anything at this point in time.
Who? Me? He morphs into His Majesty. You're simply reporting to His Majesty, after all. There's no harm there.
Yeah, no. I'm not doing that game.
Oh. Impersonating the king right here?
Apparently one of my buddies...
Where's my die?
this.
I'm gonna magically pop in and I'm going to attempt to drop kick the fucker because he's impersonating the king. You know I said I'd do it too.
17's not bad. Off in the distance, Father Solomon, while he's currently working on something, goes, I'm having a Rawl moment, only instead of children, it's the king. Someone slaps a child in abuse, Rawl knows instantly where you are. Someone badmouths the king.
No, impersonates the king.
Someone impersonates the king, Solomon's got a fucking radar.
Just ding.
No one impersonates the king.
Oh my god.
Right? All right. He morphs back to the 14-year-old kid version. How about this? You want to know about your mother?
God, fuck you.
He gives this grin, and the smile just crawls higher and higher. I've
why
got
your face
more
looked all
information about her. You still want revenge, don't you?
You know what?
You don't know what I want.
Exactly. You know nothing about nothing, you dillweed.
Filthy animal.
Well,
Trying to call a bluff.
if that's how you feel about it, I suppose I have no other choice but to call for help, as the demon girl is
Being
assaulting a
shit, Karma's a
14-year-old
bitch, I wouldn't
boy.
do that.
in the basement of an orphanage.
What do you want? What? Get back in your hole, you little shit.
You're a little shit.
I am offering to help you. Besides, it's nothing but
While threatening.
It's nothing but a harmless prank.
For you?
Oh, you won't be allowed back here anytime soon. And yeah, I'm sure that maybe some of the new friends you've made along the way won't really see you the same way. I mean, after all, why would a child lie? A child doesn't know about adult things. It's a very specific accusation for a child to accuse you of. And after all, you are the daughter of a demon. Or you can tell me what's going on. I will still give you the information about dear old Mum. And I'll help you.
I cut his head off.
Slaughter of children in an orphanage is probably not a good idea.
I'm pretty sure when you cut his head off, he reverts back to his original form.
Maybe, but you'd still need to take an action to draw your blade, and by that point in time, he knows this place better than you.
Yes, he's pretty. I just fucking hunt him down.
Besides, this guy has
Raw is on his way. I was told. I just have to hold out. Fuck you. Why am I in this fucking situation right now?
Etal approaches you and puts a hand gingerly on your shoulder. Because you were born in a place that hates you. I'm hated.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say.
Your friend is hated up there.
Which one?
The changeling. I recognize a changeling when I see one. A grung in Drifell, please.
Why don't you go make nice with him?
Oh, I will.
You guys have so much in common.
Oh, I will. After I
You're both little shits.
That's perfect! And since you are welcoming little shits into your party, why not include me on the quest? 2 changelings are better than 1. Especially one that has information.
Can I talk to them about it first?
Yeah, okay. I trust you.
How much
Pinky
information
swear?
am I... I don't like that fucking pinky. I don't know where it's been, okay?
Oh, nowhere serious. Just pickpocketing a couple gangsters who thought they knew me.
How much information am I able to tell them?
Well, until you tell me what's going on, I'd prefer it if you didn't let slip our little secret.
Which one?
Oh, that I'm a changeling, of course.
I'm pretty sure there's a list going on.
You can tell them anything you want, except the one secret we've been keeping for the past 4 years.
I've known for 4 years.
You've known Etal for about 5, but you've known he was a changeling for around 4. I mean, why do you think you were so accepting of Zarvarax?
There we go. Information.
Mm-hmm.
Zarv.
Yeah, he's...
From the same room.
Yeah, he's like 2 floors up, so.
Well, I'm just asking quick. If he's able to tell that he's a changeling, can he tell that he was a changeling?
It could be possible. It's one of those things where you need to
that was
notice.
more of
You would
a-
need to notice behavioral patterns.
Right. And he's only seen him. Actually,
Yeah.
he hasn't seen him.
Yeah, like he.
Actually, never mind. Fuck.
You gotta keep in mind that Etal was a part of the crowd at the stage play.
Yeah, but that's in a crowd.
Exactly. Which means Zarvarax wouldn't have likely been able to notice him apart from anyone else.
No.
But he was able to see Zarvarax on stage.
Alright. Fine. I'll go talk to them.
Remember, I'm only here to help. Well, and moosh off of the generosity of the caregivers. They're very nice people. You should try Nicholas's... what's he call it? Pasta? Fantastic. Always puts the right amount of seasoning in there.
God, you're weird.
I try. Now get going. I'm actually supposed to clean this place up.
Yeah.
He finds a broom and just starts sweeping.
Okay.
Now I'm assuming which floor do the 3 of you want to convene on?
Main floor.
Yeah. Main floor outside.
floor.
No.
Alright. Main floor inside or main floor outside?
I'm just gonna go until I find him.
Fair enough.
We should probably meet on the main floor inside, but then Max will suggest that we go outside to
Discuss.
discuss. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we could do kill 2 birds with 1 stone and go out back to the graveyard.
Perfect.
Fair. So, you meet together at the ground floor, and you're on your way out when all of a sudden the door swings open. Standing in this well, not so much standing as fucking gliding into the fucking premises. There's Rawl. Rawl just enters the orphanage and he's on fucking Terminator scanner mode.
I wasn't gonna kill him.
But Rawl just strolls in, looks around, acknowledges the 3 of you, and just kind of walks past. In the doorway, you see a tabaxi. An old tabaxi. Now, none of you were really there per se to really tell who it is, but you do recall that the last tabaxi you saw was at the arena being dogpiled by children. So the fact that this tabaxi just kind of trying to stay in the door frame, looking in, slowly moving in, tiptoeing.
Fuzzy!
Exactly.
Each all comes. No.
Every time Rawl seems to get out of sight of this guy, he moves forward to catch up with Rawl. He passes by the 3 of you and he kind of goes, "Yeah."
Shoot those claws, man. They're not harming you.
He's trying to keep his back to the fucking walls.
Where's Roland going?
Rawl is making an extensive sweep of the rooms. He lingers in the room with Batroff and he just stares him down.
So,
And then he moves and he starts going up.
so while he's stationary, Max will approach him and say, "Can we speak with you in the graveyard at the back, sir?"
Rawl glances your way, turns around and goes upstairs.
Okay. I guess
The Tabaxi just kind of goes like, don't take it personally, he's one-track mind. Bit of annoying he is. I'm his caretaker. He goes upstairs.
Because he totally needs someone to take care of him.
So, alright. And Max will continue on to the graveyard.
Let's go!
The lot of you are now in the graveyard. It's actually fairly empty, all things considered. It's not much of a graveyard so much as there is a large tree kind of like growing out of the mountainside, and you realize just how close to the mountain you actually are in this orphanage. But it's this very large and beautiful tree, and the side that's facing the orphanage itself has all been like stripped of bark, and it's been maintained to be that way. And there are these carvings of names.
Oh, that's the graveyard? They don't get tombstones to get a spot on the tree?
Mm-hmm.
So Max is going to walk up and he's going to place his hand on the tree by the names and look at the names.
Yep. None of the names really stand out to you.
Okay.
You do see the name of Baron, and you are reminded of the most infamous story for Rawl's behavior. It was the story where that Drifell was at war with one of the neighboring kingdoms. Rawl was at the front lines, and it was the kidnapping of a 6-year-old kid named Baron that was the last child kidnapping that occurred before Rawl returned to the city, abandoning the front lines of combat to come to the city and start searching around. Whether or not
the grave with the corpses, right?
You get the feeling that this is more like a memorial, and the children were cremated, type of a thing.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to understand that very few things stop zombies. Fire is one of them.
Uh-huh.
So it's far more common for the bodies to be burned rather than buried. There are the occasional nobleman that's mummified purely for keeping up appearances or whatnot. One of those in defiance of the necromancer, we lay our bodies here. We dare him to bring us back.
Alright, so
Whether or not this is the same Baron, it's difficult to say.
It's a pretty common name.
Kind of.
Yeah, okay, so cremation is the general MO for burial in this entire state.
Yeah, in the Kingdom of Drifell, cremation is the standard.
Okay. Alright then. Alright. So, I learned a few things.
So, did I kind of wish? Maybe? Possible?
Yeah. Well, apparently the children who are getting sick are the ones who avoid the graveyard here. So there's something here that is possibly connected to what we're looking for. Also, I believe the caretaker with the pendant bears a little closer examination because she seems to be, shall we say, in the wrong place at the right time on a rather frequent basis.
Well, I found a very willing volunteer that's able-bodied and everything to help us if we tell them what's going on.
That was the one thing they were told to not do.
Yeah.
Well, I agree that he probably has some information that we could probably use.
Well, I think we could probably get away with some stuff.
Can he be trusted?
Yeah.
Where do you know him from?
Huh?
Where do you know him from?
It's a long story.
Okay.
Fuckers. He was like strangling him.
He's just playing.
I know. He's.
So Max is going to investigate the graveyard for any arcane symbols or anything that could, be associated with necromancy.
Right.
Besides the obvious, I mean,
Okay.
dead bodies and cremated bodies out here, obviously. So.
That's something, isn't it?
What'd they do?
Hey.
So,
Where's my ruler when I need it?
So it's a yay.
hold on here.
I mean, did Zarvarax want to chime in?
Ed?
Sorry, I'm still dying.
No, that's
Are
fine.
we bringing this schmuck into the circle of knowledge here, or are we, should we keep them in the dark?
I mean, shapeshifters are pretty sketchy individuals.
You don't know who he is that though.
She hasn't
don't.
divulged that yet.
Yeah, I haven't told you guys anything. Besides,
It's a complicated backstory.
yeah.
Besides, what help could a 14-year-old kid,
You don't know it's a 14-year-old killed either. I didn't tell you anything.
That was Father Solomon trusted.
I will say, in response to 14-year-old kid thing, he is the only person that was named, and it seems to be the only person that you wanted to look. It's. I'm willing to say that putting two and two together here is acceptable. I'm willing to say that.
Fine. You make assumptions.
Oh, he's a changeling? Yeah, welcome.
You don't know that. You know that he could
Possibly making
possibly.
that assumption. Isn't that what
No,
he said?
he's saying that when his name was brought up by a dude, that, and I was like, wait, what? And then I went and looked for him, so that you know that he's a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, like it would be safe to assume that she was talking to the 14-year-old kid because she recognized his name.
So, I rolled a Arcana check, Arcana for looking in the graveyard for magic.
A 14?
I rolled an 18.
An 18.
I rolled a 14, but I get a plus 4, so so it's an 18.
All right. There's nothing here. There's no necrotic residue. There's no necrotic symbols anywhere. It doesn't. There aren't even any spell foci or any kind of like a material component.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, even the markings, they're not even in code.
It's not one of those side quests where you move the rock slightly
anything
over.
back here, Sir Rocks?
Huh?
I mean, can I just kind of do a look around? I don't have any magic, like, checks I can do.
You can feel free to take whatever kind of approach to this as you like, really.
Yeah, can I just take like 90 seconds to just do a quick walk around and just gaze around and see if there's anything that is like alarmingly out of place?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why not.
Okay. What kind of check is that?
I'd say that's an investigation, and taking your time, I'll allow it to be an advantage.
Okay. So Okay. Alright, one of those was a natural 1 because it's not my night, but the other one was an 18, so...
Alright. This place just...
Investigation?
This place hasn't really been visited in a while. This graveyard hasn't actually been visited except for, like, trimming the lawn, by the looks of it. Nothing seems to be out of place. The farming implements are kind of in this little lean-to away from the weather. The lawn is well kept. The tree is well maintained. This place is fine.
Okay. I'm going to go back to Max. I'm going to go... Now's probably a good time to show you this, and I pull out the vial of assorted bodily fluids.
The fuck is that?
What? What is this?
Zorvarex, feel free to make a perception check for me here.
I think your honey's gone bad.
Hey, natural 20. 23.
The green that followed the pus, that followed the blood, appears to be eating the other bodily fluids.
So it's like the green's getting more
Just look at
green.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Think of it like this. You would imagine for a moment, if you will.
Zombie virus.
You've got the water blood, the oil pus, and the water green goo. It used to be separate like that. Not quite to that extent, but you get the point. The green is like legitimately just consuming both the blood and the pus.
Fun. I'm going to show that and I'm going to explain the phenomena that's occurring.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, yes, I stabbed a child for this, by the way.
I don't.
He could send
So
it.
that's why Raw's
Yeah,
here.
most complicated.
Someone's going to kill you one of the days, and it's probably going to be me.
Yeah, I mean, if you can catch me.
Anyways, so should we go ask questions to what's his nuts?
Why don't we ask Rawl?
Yes, because he can totally respond.
Yeah, well, he can still give us a nod or a shake of the head.
That's a good idea. And I'm going to walk away to go find Rawl.
Plus, we have the.
When's it being so difficult?
What was the caretaker with the pendant?
Belora.
Belora, I'm assuming she was the one who was flirting with Hunter.
Getting flirted with.
Yeah.
She was the recipient.
Was she pretty hot?
Well, she's 28 years old, so yeah. Pretty hot.
Okay.
Age has nothing to do with hotness.
Well, compared to the 45-year-olds.
Hey, seeing some smoking 45-year-olds. How old is what? Jennifer, whatever?
All I know is that my mother's in her 60s, and people keep on confusing her for a 40-year-old. And the woman who played Mrs. Adam in The Addams Family is in her 90s right now, and she still looks the fucking same as when she played Mrs. Adam.
Cher, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, Cher's finally starting to look
Oh, she's
older.
finally starting to age after almost a
when
century.
When I saw Mamma Mia 2, and she was in it for like 5 minutes.
Okay, I need to. I'm really starting to fade, and I do have to get up
Oh, sorry.
With your 30 in the morning, so. Yeah.
And you
All
want
right.
to just stop at, we're going to go talk to Rawl?
Well, first, I need you guys to decide on whether or not you're going to be confiding in Etal.
Yeah. Can we just...
Well, that's what we're going to go and talk to Rawl about.
All right. Fair enough. It is at that moment that you hear something in the distance. You hear some kind of like a yelling or screaming.
Oh, no.
And then you hear the shattering of glass,
Oh, no.
followed by another scream, this time one of injury,
Oh, no.
and then laughter.
Oh, no. Run! Towards the
We think the
sounds.
laugh is good, though. Can we tell where it's coming from?
Oh yes, it's coming from the other side of the house.
Like outside?
Seems to be.
Okay. Oh, charge!
Do you charge through the building or around the building?
Around.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Split
charge.
up.
So you charge around the building. You eventually come to the front of it, and you see this incredibly intoxicated Azamar, wearing leather armor and adorned with gang symbols, laughing and kind of like chucking a rock at the orphanage, loudly proclaiming that
Is or are they in the grounds?
he's off the grounds.
Okay.
But he is loudly proclaiming that he's not scared of anybody. He'll show them, y'all a bunch of cowards. And all of this just like this droning drunkard public intoxication, thinks he's invincible.
Where's the injured person?
Seemingly inside.
You got hit by a rock.
I'm gonna run inside, see if I can find who's injured.
As you reach the door almost gets ripped off its hinges.
Yeah.
And you are met with a 5'10" wall of adamantine.
I'm gonna get out of his way.
Roll a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay. Yeah, 12.
You're able to get out of the way, but you do kind of get bumped and you land on your butt a little bit as Rawl just like he was strolling at first in his investigation.
Now
This is a forced march forward.
he's storming forward.
Mhm.
Go Rawl.
And he is holding a bloody rock in his hand.
Ooh. Oh no.
Ooh.
And it's not his.
The drunkard on the other side of the fence is taking a swig of his alcohol and he's pointing at him. Like, big man, not so big. My sister's taller than you.
Oh fuck. He's going to die now.
So Max is gonna run inside. Can Max? Can we tell which window is broken?
Oh yeah, it's basically just one of the front windows, a little bit to the right of it.
First floor, second floor.
First floor.
Okay. So Max is gonna run in and see who had injured.
Nicholas and the 14-year-old named Etal are currently holding a sobbing child. Blood is trickling from his head.
How did he get downstairs?
Well, dinner was almost ready.
I thought they went to sleep.
The sick ones were in bed. Remember, the second floor was still filled with children who were playing.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Fuck.
they're not going through the first floor. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Hmm?
So Max is going to walk up and he's going to cast Cure Wounds at level 2.
All right. The wound is healing up quite nicely, but this is a child who was just hit in the face with a rock. He's still crying.
That's fine.
He got to get it out.
offer what comfort you can, and that is, hey, look at that. That is 14
Excellent.
points of healing.
So you see, you also see the tabaxi is, well, chasing after all now. He's like, oh no. Oh no.
Not again.
He stops chasing. He turns to face the gathering people. I would advise you to turn the children's heads away from the window for a moment. So meanwhile, Karma, Zarvrex, assuming you didn't rush into the building, you see Rawl. He does not go for the gate.
Oh, he goes straight for the group.
He goes straight for the drunken guy. Drunken guy kind of like stumbles back a little bit, pulls out an arming sword. He's like, come on! Come on, I'ma show you, I'ma show them. You witness Rawl walk through the iron fence. The thing bends, snaps, breaks off as he marches through it. He allows the man to take a stab at him. It glances off his armor, and he brings the rock.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He goes down.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. The guy stops screaming after the first hit.
He did. He did.
Still zoning out there, Zarvrex.
The dog is acting up. I think she wants to go out.
That's fair. Oh. I will...
But yeah, I'm pretty tired.
Yeah.
I know. You have...
No, I get you. Because this is more or less the end of it. As Rawl will stand up. He's going to leave the rock embedded in this man. He's going to pick up the body by the armor, and he throws it to the other side of the street. And it just lands in a heap. He turns around and walks back towards the orphanage.
I think they need a new fence.
A little bit.
Anyone hear momentum?
Alright. And you... He stops for a moment. He suddenly, like, incredibly sudden, just snaps his head to one side and runs.
Well,
He is currently running at a sprint up the mountain.
he's got to go get the cleanup crew.
The tabaxi addresses you, Max, and goes, I think you found your lead. By the by, wasn't there an older gentleman on that couch in that room not a moment ago?
Was that the couch where
Batroth.
Petroff was?
Mm-hmm.
And he gone?
He's
Yes,
gone.
there was.
And Raw went after him?
Well, Rawl went after something, that's for sure.
So Max books it after Rawl, and as he passes Zarvrex and Karma, he's like, "Tally ho!"
So you just took off?
Yeah. Saying tally-ho to encourage the two of you to follow him.
Alright, I take off after him.
We're so windy right now.
Etal runs to the door frame and calls out to you as you leave, like, "Bye! It was nice seeing you!"
Fuck you. Runs away, flipping him off.
Buchanan's too young.
As far as I'm aware, Karma's still only 17, though.
Yeah, but
Hey, back then.
Well, back in the medieval period, and I'm curious to see what the historians that I follow on YouTube would say about this, because obviously it's a TV trope that's more or less how it happened. Like the moment a man can get an erection, he's a man. The moment a woman has her period, she's a woman, and they can bang. Okay. I wonder how true that actually is.
Well, I know the chicks were already betrothed by the time like they were around to get their first period. They hadn't even gotten it yet, but they were already betrothed, usually to an older man.
Well, betrothed and sex are two different things.
No, I know. But when she got her period, they were to be married.
Yeah, I can believe it. But yes, that is Chapter 3, Page 2, A Hero to the Innocent, completed. And when next we meet up, in 1 week from today, in 2022, assuming next week all works for everybody, the next the next page, Page 3, Welcome to the Crypt.
okay. Alright, everyone. Good night, and see you next year.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it, damn it! Fuck you.
Good night.
Adios.
Have yourselves a good year, everybody. Don't get too wasted. And now that they have gone, I shall give a personal thank you to Energy Bar and Valley Shion. Thank you two for joining us. Welcome to the Tales of Drifell. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a good night.